And I just saw your comment in here. So in the private chat, never mind. Hey, everybody. This is Aaron Carson from Rule Playing Public Radio. This is a Patreon game. The game that we're playing is Delta Green today, and the name of the scenario is called Harmonic Convergence. So we have 4 lovely players with us today, so I will just go in order of top to bottom, starting with Channel playing Tully.
Hey everyone, yeah. So Tully Stenbach is a historian from Colorado, also a field recording enthusiast. Got into sort of recording ambient sound and room tone in college, and found some weird shit in the mountains when she was in college, and that sort of is, long story short, just sort of what got her sort of swept up into the program.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, I say okay.
Yeah. But yeah, she's big into the occult, and so hopefully will prove an asset during this operation.
And as part of this, are you considered a full agent or just a friendly at this moment?
A friendly, I would say.
A friendly? Okay, cool. So, all right. We'll put that in there. All right, Madeline.
I'm Madeline. I'm playing Ariel Killinger. I didn't pick that name. That's what she came with. She's an anthropologist, was born in Odin, Arizona, studied at University of Southern California. She is her focus in anthropology, focus on music and music theory. Yep, she's I would say she's probably a friendly as well.
Okay, so as part of the friendly on there, since given what you're looking into, we need somebody with that actual bit music theory experience. So, all right, Chris.
Hey, this is Chris. I'm playing Agent DeMarcus Shaw with the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Firearms, and Tobacco. He is part of the program because he has seen fires and other sorts of transported goods that should not be, and so he is fully part of the program now.
Good. And probably something that would bring you into a lot of this is probably the acquisition of other artifacts, especially if they're crossing borders right now.
Correct. If it looks shady and it's being transported, he'll get caught in.
Exactly, too. So in my headcanon, I'm going to say that you actually maybe took the tablet from the Gilgamesh Dream tablet from Hobby Lobby. So,
oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't going to do anything well with that. And finally, our friend Will, Agent Pincher.
Hi, yeah, I'm Will, and I'm Blaze on the Discord, and I'm playing Agent Pinter, who is both handsome and fit, and is basically an FBI agent who, was on a previous operation where he infiltrated a cult, and then something horrible made out of stone and blood and flesh killed multiple people on a highway, and it all went horribly wrong from there. So
just right down the grade. So
yeah, he has some mild paranoia from that. Mild paranoia.
Well, again, you wouldn't be in the program if you didn't have at least some paranoia to kind of back you up here. So
I just want to be clear. It's the disorder that you get from taking the thing. So I guess that's in your hands. I've never played with a disorder in Delta.
That's a full disorder too. So okay,
yeah.
Well, we'll see how that does.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I just thought you should know. So
okay, I will kind of go with that. So all right, but yeah, your cell has been activated with a particular concern about an artifact or suspected artifact that has reemerged into the public. For those of you who have experience again with music history or theory, especially, you would recognize the drumsticks that are on display, sharing similarities with the drumsticks taiko drummers use called bachi, except that they are incredibly odd for what they are. You are all given it's like sent over your secured lines images of ones that were at least initially recovered by a previous mission with the program, but were lost quickly after when the majority of the agents and civilians that were involved in this burned to death. So almost complete immolation. Agents going in for cleanup attempted to find these objects, but they went missing. They are all being uploaded to your phones as of now. So if you want to look in our RPPR game chat, you can see them. They're also incredibly odd for bachi because normally they're just completely smooth sticks on the end, but as you can see, as your handler is giving this information, they have that's like demon-headed ornaments on there, usually referred to as oni heads. Are assumed to be at least or initially were assumed to be some sort of gemstone or crystalline type. But as analysis went through from the one sliver that was recovered of this head that was recovered from the original mission, it was found to have something more in common with amber, except obviously completely differently colored from what that should be. So images of a similar bachi sticks have come up with that's like showing up in a advertisement for a international music festival being put on by the University of California's Irvine as part of their music program through that's the wrong. Oh, come on, Firefox. So running games online. So, all right. So that would be part of the Claire Trevor School of Arts. This weekend, they are set to actually do a presentation on that. And as the program fears that they don't know exactly what might happen if these bachi are used again, they would like to see if a analysis and confirmation can be made in the week before they are used, and if they are, either having them disappear or at least have a convincing replica put into their place. So you all have been given that's like accommodations at a fairly cheap motel in the Irvine area, which it's Irvine, so it's still even pretty expensive for the cheap ones. So and you have had access to one of the meeting rooms in there, so you can kind of do any planning or information gathering as you say right now. Currently, again, they've told you to go ahead and try to come up with your own base credentials. So in order to get there, in order to separate any kind of potential connection to the program. So how are you guys trying to go ahead and are trying to get in to see this?
ATF, smuggling goods. I mean, where do we know where the provenance of these? That seems to be like an official lead in as far as I can see for these artifacts. Our civilian consultants may have I'm interested in these things. Can I, as a fellow academic, can I look?
Yeah, I would say that Ariel is probably working on her postdoctoral whatever program stuff that she's working on. So would ask, just as a, can I take a look at your nice things, please?
Okay, so they would do that. Yeah, if you would want to make a request to see those, you can absolutely do that through the official channels. The name of it's like the head of the that's like the music department that is looking over there, is Dr. Sandra Kelder. So. And she is actually running the entirety of this particular of this performance. So if you would like to make a contact with her or at least somebody else through maybe a bureaucracy check or any other contacts, you can go ahead and do so as well. Also, you do not have since you do need to make an analysis to see if the items are the same, you do. Your handler has also told you that you will have access to a green box that the sliver is being delivered to. It's about 5 miles out from where you're at a self-storage facility, but it should be the only item in there. So since this is this is only being set up as a temporary green box. So if you want to figure out a team to go over there and take that out, otherwise, and so roles are. What would you like to do in this one? So you already can make the contact here shortly. What would everybody else like to do?
Just a question. So are the drumsticks at where it's going to be demonstrated now, or are they in transit to it?
No, they are they are under lock and key at the museum as they are considered technically artifacts, but they're mainly wanting to keep them preserved until that they're used, and they essentially until they're put into the hands of a professional taiko player who will be utilizing them during the performance. Otherwise, they're kept basically in that's like what would be like the display areas that are protected.
Okay. And then do we have a record? Like, have they always been there, or like how long have they had them? Do we know that?
For that, I would say if you want to go ahead and just do, let me see, that can either be a general history check. So, if you'd like to do a bureaucracy check just to see for maybe school records or anything, because
that's what I was thinking. More like, are there records of when they got it and that type of thing?
Yeah. So I will say, what is who has the highest bureaucracy score? What would that be?
I've got 40. If anyone's got that beat.
40. 40 about the same. Okay.
I got exactly the same.
Okay.
40
I would
all
say,
around.
yeah, so I would say for 40 without having to make a roll, you know that it's been there. That's like they've had a that's like it delivered over there probably within the last 3 or 4 months. So it hasn't been there technically longer. But to bring up any other information, you'd have to make a roll to see if there are particular shipping receipts or anything else to say to look to make sure that this is a legitimate trade or at least a legitimate loan.
Yeah, would criminology work for that, just to see if it's all on the up and up?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If you would want to do that, that's fine.
Okay. I will try DiceBot. We'll see how this works.
Good luck. The odds ever be in your favor.
I believe that should always be a critical success.
You know what? In honor of Baz, that is a nice roll. So he allowed that to me. So you, for everybody who said that right now, that's like Chris got a 69. That's always a nice roll. We'll just go with it. Yes. So yeah, actually, out of critical successes, you do find that the all the documentation is in place. They are. That's like it absolutely is that's like looks like it's on the up and up. These were brought over from a that's like another musical university in Tokyo that we'll pretend to know the name of. So
Sure.
But because you were looking at it though, something does strike you as a little bit odd though. Because they actually put the name of one of the people in there too. Because this thing has actually been passed forth right now several times within U.S. borders and around the world. Looks like they've either put it on other musical references, but the picture that they show of the man in there looks to be some Japanese gentleman, probably in his mid to late 40s, where he started kind of signing off for everything. But that picture right now, you realize has come up before, at least in your time for, that's like over in the ATF, even before you were actually part of the program. This guy has been posting stuff back at least 40 or 50 years, and you would think maybe this is a son, but these pictures look awfully alike.
Oh.
And you know it's not, and you can actually tell that it's not just a mistake where the same picture has been used, because timestamps on here are showing completely different dates going about 50 or so years.
All right. That's unusual.
So, and the same thing about that too, it's a little bit odd as well that you look at the signatures and yeah, those are two different names, but that is very much the same, looks like very much the same handwriting. Almost down to a T.
All right. So that's pretty cool. What is the most recent name for this guy?
The most recent name is Hideko Kano.
Okay. We'll be looking into him a little bit later. That's odd.
All right. So, but yeah, so that's like the legally it looks fine. Underneath it, something seems to be up. So,
okay.
All right. Agent Pinter, Tully, would you like to do anything else?
I was thinking that I could talk in, Dr. Killinger, to the desk, use my persuade, ring up, and just be like, "Hi, I'm Dr. Killinger's PA.
Okay.
Really like to take a look at your things, just to min-max the the skills a bit more.
The effort to, all right, so getting in there at least using that. All right, so so it is a Monday afternoon, so the schools are still open here. And you reach the looks like you reached the assistant right now, so you've reached the desk of Dr. Kelder. How may I help you?
Well, I'm ringing from Dr. Killinger. She's a visiting. Are you a grad student or a professor or
I'm a postdoc, so
a postdoc?
Mhm.
Yeah, she's doing her postdoc on music forms around the world, taiko drums, and she hears that we hear that you've got some amazing artifacts down there, and she was just wondering if she could take a look. One academic to another.
Yeah, we look. I understand you definitely want to see this, especially since they're going to be on the performance beforehand. But I'm going to be honest with you. That was supposed to be kept under really big lock and key because of, they're not fragile, but we can't really do that without like a full set of authorizations too, and that's at least about well, if you want to come in and sign off the releases, you can, but that's I'm going to let you know it's literally a printer's worth of paper to basically put that down, just to make sure that you're not going to break the thing.
I mean, come on, a printer's worth of paper? That sounds like, half the amount I have to do just to get some new ink in mine. Come on, it's fine.
All right. So, okay.
We have nothing going on this afternoon.
True. Look, I also appreciate this too, but that it's really wonderful to see right now. I mean, just it kind of gives me a warm feeling when I look at it too. If that sounds weird, but it's just it's nice. But really, it's gonna be I could get into serious trouble too. Like I'm in my master's program right now, and if Dr. Kelder found out I was doing anything weird with this or letting people into, that could put me at major risk.
Say, there's nothing weird. It's just another academic going to another thing. It's fine, man. Like, hey. Okay. And I'll roll. If I rolled persuade, it would be a 58.
That persuade. So you're gonna. So yeah, go ahead and make that roll.
I mean, no, I've made it. It's 58. I've got it.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, and the angle is just nothing suspicious, nothing out of the ordinary. Just a friendly academic, and we'll sign off all the releases, and of course, full indemnity if we break the objects in any way, shape, or form. SoCal will pay, of course. That'll be charged back to Killinger's home budget.
Okay, so all right. Well, all right. Then I'm going to say this right now as part of that persuade. What is the university that you're willing to put this at? Because that's if you can put something fake, but it probably will be noticed very quickly.
I mean, as far as Pinter's concerned, Ariel. I mean, we've discussed this beforehand, right? Where Ariel Killinger is Ariel Killinger. The grad, there is no cover identity here, right? If anything goes wrong, we're hoping that Ariel Killinger won't be holding a gun somewhere and shooting someone, right? So, so there's nothing to be gained from not being the real person, like you're friendly. You're not. Yep. This is why we have friendlies.
Right.
All right, so you're just gonna use you're using your credentials. All right.
Yeah, when she's killed someone, then it will be a case of we have to use. Yeah.
That's a problem for future area.
That's okay if you're doing that. So, all right. If you've convinced her that if Ariel will come in the afternoon to sign off on everything, she'll go. The assistant will go ahead and have everything prepped for you. So
Ariel and her grad student, of course. He's a bit older. He'll be along.
So fair enough. Then so
non-traditional student.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we always gotta respect him. So, all right. But yeah. So that's like Dr. Kedler's assistant is willing to let you in, but it will only be for a short amount of time. Mainly to get that as needed. So you might not have a lot of time with it. So, but at least you could see the object within the next day or so, awesome. Or at least for the afternoon. Excuse me. So bring back to Tully then. So what are you going to do?
Tully will go ahead and retrieve that shard, hop in her Honda Acura, and just drive out to the shed or wherever it is.
That's a shed and get that. So okay, all right. So are you going alone, or are you taking anybody with you?
I think Pinter and Killinger are all they're preoccupied Shaw,
I should probably go, because if I'm actually with the program, I would have the access to the green box.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and this is not a big this is not like a fully official green box. This is more just kind of like a drop place. So that's like so you can get it to back, and also once you're done, they have another one where you can return it to. That's not this one. So
yeah,
to be able to keep up the security protocol from that. So all right, but yeah, you drive down there. It's a boring 15 minutes to get there, and that's like Los Angeles traffic for anything else. But once you pull in, let's like pull into the storage right now, open it up, and yeah, you see in the middle, it looks like in the middle of this storage facility, it just looks like one singular box. It's almost like a ring box that you open it up carefully, and yeah, there is that's like a small sliver of what looks like to be ruby almost, but getting closer, yeah, it doesn't. You can absolutely tell that there's glints in there of a little more orange off there that is amber. So just it looks quite bizarre to you. So like it shouldn't really exist in there. Both of you, go ahead and make an alertness check.
I fail.
Fail. Okay. Tully?
I succeed.
You succeed? Okay. What was the range of your success?
Let's see. It was you have to go under the number, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So
yeah. So I got a 4 out of 20.
4 out of 20. Okay. So Shaw is completely absorbed with trying to put this away and make sure this is going through. But Tully, you hear movement out from the behind you.
I'm
gonna. And it sounds, as soon as you turn around, it sounds like their footsteps that are quickly pacing away from you.
I tapped Shaw on the shoulder and said, "We have an eavesdropper." I'm not great at giving chase, but I will.
Okay. Yeah. So if you,
I'll
that's like
hold
it's.
the fort here.
Yeah, it's there. So are you chasing after the footsteps, or Shaw, are you going after Tully?
Oh yeah, again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I will say, like that, it's pretty quick. So you don't have to, have to roll anything yet, but you run the corner and you see that there seems to be a figure, probably about 5'4", and a full hoodie. So that is back's turned to you. It's complete. So you can't really see anything since they're kind of around the corner, light blue jeans and everything, but they are just booking it towards the fence. So
I'm running after and screaming, "Freeze, federal agent."
Okay, so all right, let's see if you want to get them to stop. Yeah, you can go ahead and make, I will say, a persuade check on that if you want to really get them.
Okay. Let's see. That is a success.
Okay, how much did you succeed by?
21 out of 50.
50? Okay.
So by more than 20.
So, yeah, the figure stops. So you can see it's still holding it looks like it has its hands inside the front pockets, but it's not moving though. It's just standing very still.
Okay. Pistols out, turn around, hands up. You see your face.
All right, it's not the figure's not moving at all. So, but that's like it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. As you're moving up, let's see. I guess there. Actually, both Tully and Shaw, you can make a spot hidden check.
That's probably a failure on my part.
Okay.
Did you mean search or?
Oh yes, search. I'm sorry. So
that's okay.
I'm going by old ones. So
got it. 21 out of 50 again.
21 out of 50. Okay. Yeah. So Tully, you're just unfortunately out. That's like on the outs. So because you're like, oh god, somebody else is already on to us this early on. So this is not good. But yeah, you are. but Shaw, as you're moving around, so you can go ahead and see. That's like first of all, you see that when getting around, this is a woman. So just
Okay.
once now that you're there, you just couldn't tell a figure right now from how baggy the clothes were previously. But as you're reaching around to basically kind of pull out your handcuffs and try to get them in there, you can see a bit of the hand that is underneath. And two things you notice are, one, the hand is gloved completely. So it's a little bit weird, other than just like this is a 90-degree day in Irvine. So they're pretty much out there too. So, but underneath that there, where you would see skin, it doesn't look like skin. It almost looks blackish and purplish, if that how it glints off in the sunlight. And as you're moving into handcuff, that's when that hand comes back at you in a speed that you weren't really ready for. So go ahead and make a dodge check.
Okay. No. Nope.
Nope, not at all.
I get slapped.
Okay. All right. So that being said, you get hit for. Let's see how well Dicebot's going to be mean to me today. Two damage, 2 hit points.
Okay.
As it just smacks you right in the head and almost breaks your nose, you can feel the blood going down your head. And unfortunately, you're disoriented for the second, so you can try to get a shot off in a second. Tully, you just saw this figure backhand your partner pretty far back, given to their size too, and now they're just booking it towards the fence, which I do need to mention also has barbed wire on the end. So it has chain link, slant, and then it's above.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to give chase and see if I can grab onto it.
Okay, you're going to go ahead. That will be an athletics check to see if you can make it.
All right, here goes nothing. And that is unfortunately failure, 37 out of 30.
Okay. Nope. It's getting to that point. Yeah. It's just this figure seems to be really fast. She's almost on here. So I will say, Shaw, you've recovered enough. So if you want to take a shot, you can, or if you have another action you want to take.
Oh heck no! She hit me. I'm taking a shot. Tully's not in my line of sight, right?
No. Yes. Tully just kind of went forward a little bit, and it seems to be skewing off to the side. So unless you just get a critical failure, don't get a critical failure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It'll be fine, Tully. Everything's good.
Go for it.
All right.
98. So.
Okay, so that was
critical.
1 point off
Not
of a
critical
failure. So, but yeah, so unfortunately that bullet whizzes by. You do see that's like it is. You start hearing voices behind you you've just had a shot go off, so that's getting the attention of the attendant at the self-storage facility. But that's also when both of you look back at the figure, and again, she is about 5'4", and at its total height with the barbed wire, I was about to say, almost let's say the razor wire. This would really be a really weird stealth storage facility. But the barbed wire itself, that's probably a good 8 to 10 feet. One movement, she clears that. Going up, you see the hand that's like had what looked like that discolored skin on there, grab the barbed wire, push it down, and she vaults herself over it, leaving. That's like, and as she goes down, there's woods behind it, and she just disappears right into it.
Is that a sanity check?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Because you don't know Olympians that could do that, much less put their hand on barbed wire without looking any worse for the wearer.
Yeah. I succeed.
Okay.
I succeed as well.
All right. So nothing lost in this turn. That shouldn't do that, though. But you do now know that this site is compromised, so that you were That's like as of right now, somebody knew what was going around. So
Yeah, we need to get that sleeve and get it back to the others. Is something shady.
Yeah.
So, all right. But yeah, so you have the sliver as it's like needed right now. Pinter and Killinger. So you are now at the that's like university, specifically over at the Claire Trevor School. So big brutalist architecture as RPPR tends to like. So
Excellent.
that. But yeah, you go in and you meet up with the assistant here. So which I will say, Kilger, what's the name of the assistant you were dealing with?
It was Sarah Boyd.
Sarah Boyd. That you basically named one of my teachers. Thank you very much.
It was one of the docs I work with.
So Lloyd, they look up and say like, "Oh, that's like you, Dr. Killinger."
Hi, I'm Dr. Killinger. This is my where were you? My assistant or you're a master's student?
You're master student.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
And I think you've given me enough buzzwords that I can pass for knowing what the hell I'm talking about, right?
Excellent. So this is my grad student here is with me.
Good.
Will.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so all right. You're really lucky because Dr. Kedler is out right now in other business. So we at least can get you in there a little bit. But like I said, and Sam wasn't kidding, they bring out a huge sheaf of documentation. Now, I pretty much X'd out where, we have to sign right now, so you only have to sign the last page, but you have to swear to God not to touch anything unless it's, gloved or
Of course.
At least the other supervision. I brought it into her office because that's the only place that doesn't have a camera on it, and I don't want to get fired. I can't.
Sure.
So, but I have no idea when she's getting back. It's probably like within the next 30 or 15 minutes. So you need to wrap it up as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Just to confirm, this is not cleared with the doctor in charge.
So, well, this is more it's like better to ask forgiveness than permission situation. And once they see the permission signs on there, she probably won't care. But I mean, as long as you just don't even look at the thing wrong.
Sure.
So.
And Sarah, I understand the risk that you're taking doing this. So if you ever need anything, please look me up over at USC, because we would love someone with the initiative that you're showing today here.
Oh well, I know. It's just trying to keep everything right now because, yeah, that's really cool right now too. But I think it belongs in a museum piece. I'm still afraid that those things are going to break the minute they use them. But yeah. No, we'll completely do those. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I'll just take all this paperwork and I'll just be signing it while we're in the office, right?
Yep. So you can go on there. So, so she lets you in there, just kind of looking around nervously, but you get into Dr. Kelder's office. All right. You guys can go ahead and do you can do you do a search check if you like, but the items are on the both of the sticks are on the desk.
So we'll glove up. She'll probably put on a little paper mask as well, just so she's not breathing spit onto it or whatever.
Okay.
And Pinter's just gonna be filling in the paperwork, and every time Sarah looks like she's looking interested in what Killinger's doing, worried or anything, she's gonna try and flirt with her a little bit and just sort of distract her and just be like, "So you finish up soon? Oh man, you should really go over to our university. It's really nice,
Okay. Excellent. So, all right. So, yeah. What rolls would you like to make? So,
I could do anthropology. I have history. I have a tiny bit of forensics. Okay. I don't know that music theory really is going to help me just looking at the things, but
a little bit too. So mainly that can be. I will say, what's your music theory?
I put that under art for 50.
For art for 50. Okay. Mm-hmm. Without rolling anything, I like we described before. When you were looking at the pictures of it, these are incredibly odd for bachi. Just because one, if the pictures you can see, it has the heads on the side. These are intricately carved.
Yeah.
And again, the pressures that they're putting on here would be almost. It's you can't really imagine this is giving you a very good sound. especially when it comes out of the drums, well, or at least making putting those out. The wood and also too trying to think of at least the music that this would be a part of too. This doesn't look like it should be anything right now. You can't think of any particular song that would require this out of just a music history aspect as well.
So almost more ornamental, really, than
more. Yeah, so you would assume right now more ornamental than anything else. But but you do see something else on the side of it that you weren't really thinking about at the time, which seems to be odd. There seems to be something that looks akin to like a belt buckle. So that's sitting off to the side of it. Okay. And there, picture up here. With this particular kind of inner wave design that's kind of going around in there. And it looks like designs that might be on the part of a taiko drum. So
yeah.
But you can't
Power Ranger vibes.
So it looks completely metallic right now for some reason, just kind of sitting up there. But that's like very, very, very odd too. And like it's like something else that just resonated from what Sam just told you. Are you picking the sticks up to kind of examine them or look over them?
Yeah, we're gonna hold it up to the light, especially to look through the little amber whatever.
Tiny little magnifying monocle to look at it directly. Yeah.
All right. So the things that you get from that one, when you touch the wood of that handle, it feels incredibly warm. That's almost a human body temperature warmth.
Disgusting. Okay.
At that point, not on there, but as you kind of grip it a little bit further, you're almost confused for a second because you think you feel a pulse, and you almost assume that it's just your hand going through there. But in a couple seconds, you realize that's coming from the wood itself, and as you look towards the head, with those time pulses, there seems to be a small light emanating from the head as well. So you could go ahead and take a sand check on that.
Yeah. Is there like fluid moving through it, or it's just light?
It's just a feeling of this pulse too. As far as you can tell, it's not. But this also brings up the other things that as you see this in relation to the disc itself, you almost feel like you need to hit it.
Like hit the disc with the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's just past 49 out of 50 for sand.
49 out of 50. So, all right. So it is going to be a one sand hit, but you're just kind of resisting that feeling, going like, as the academic portion of your training comes back and it says like, no, that's a bad idea.
I think I see Killinger, like pale, right? Like, and I'm just going to say, wow, those are really fancy. So, Sarah, I can call you Sarah, right? Like, and smile winningly. Who else is trusted to touch these things? I mean, they look so breakable. Has anyone else handled them?
The only people that were handling those are, Dr. Kelder herself, since she's the one who's organizing the program, and a couple of the other students who were the percussion students who were coming in to kind of give training. And there's a taiko drummer that's been called in for this in Japan right now. Mr. That's like Kubo. So Kiddo. So he's apparently somebody who's really experienced with this. So he's coming in. I've only seen him a couple times.
Mr. Kubo Keto? What was that?
Sorry, Hideki Kaido. So sorry.
Hideki Kaido. No worries. Just for the notes, really, so I can remember who I'm referring to.
That's okay.
Wow. What's that? What's the metal thing?
The what thing?
Well, the belt buckle type stuff.
You're both in the room right now. Mm-hmm. So that apparently is something that, like I said, probably shouldn't do this right now. But that was part of at least this drumming set that was supposed to be special as part of like this particular set. May I? And she puts out her hands with the glove. Sure. So, like, I'm not supposed to do this at all usually, but since nobody else is here.
This is gonna be our secret.
Yeah.
Wink.
So, but
really laying it on thick here.
It's how they're amazing too. So, she takes the head of the bachi, taps it just very lightly, and you hear what sounds like a metal drum head, like almost akin to what you'd hear from like a steel drum portion, just a sort of tone, except it fills the room, and the volume doesn't seem to dissipate for at least a good 45 seconds to a minute. It is one note that is just held in tune.
And it's from something about this big. Right?
Well,
like belt buckle size.
That when you hold that right now, I will say again, that's another one of those that you hear that sound and it almost kind of chills you just because of how long it is going. Like, it almost feels oppressive, if that makes any sense. Like you somehow, this drum head has just produced the minor chord of all minor chords.
Yeah.
So, and
it's not even attached to a drum, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just a head, so it's weird as hell.
Just a buckle, some sort of it almost looks like a buckle of some sort, but that is a metal material or something. How they react to each other, and Sam's just going, this is supposed to be a big part of that performance, but I don't quite understand it too.
So the 3 different spots on there, are they 3 different tones then?
So
I mean, not
I
that
don't
you
know.
have to.
I haven't played around with it too. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done it, and technically, I'm make sure Sam starts looking around for cameras just to see
no
like
one
this
is
there.
here. No one is here.
I don't know though, so I guess I could try that. But it's about that time you hear a cell phone go off. Sam looks down. Oh shit. So I gotta put this up right now, so we gotta get out.
Sure.
So because she's gonna be here like in 10 minutes. So
Okay.
So with that, like I can't
you
guarantee
put it away.
Like,
You put it away, Sarah, and maybe we'll just say it would be fascinating to speak to Dr. Kelder, right, Dr. Killinger?
Like I said, you can, but like I really only have so much time right now, so we gotta get you out right now.
Of course.
Like I said, yeah, sorry.
As she's doing that, Dr. Killinger is trying to like get super fast like cell phone pictures as much as she can.
That's certainly fine too. The only thing I will say is, let me take a look in here for your recording. Because did you have anthropology on your?
I do at 50.
At 50, go ahead and make a roll on that. So, and that, depending on your success, that'll determine what details might come up. So.
Nope, 89.
Okay, you do get pictures out of it, but it's going to take a lot. That's like you have to get some other things in. I will say one thing that you do get from it is that when you're putting it up, you do ran your hands over the heads of these, and you can actually see that there are no, there doesn't seem to be any kind of mark or mar where there's a chip or indentation. So.
Okay.
This thing probably is not the one that's like the came from the last case. So
yeah, okay,
possibly related, but definitely not like the one thing there. So
there's nothing there. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Sarah. We really appreciate it.
All right. No, that's fine too. So yeah. Oh crap! Like she's coming through the door right now. So like pretend you were just talking to me about yeah, sorry. I know it's like we were coming in here for another history for our sousaphone exhibition, but it's only in marching season. So, Dr. Kelder. So, turn around and you see a very nicely appointed, that's a lot Asian American woman who's kind of walking in, kind of coldly regarding you. So, draping at least a light jacket over her arm. Sam, you didn't tell me yet. That's like. I told you our office hours for students is only from 4 to 5. It's obviously 6 o'clock right now.
Hi, Dr. Kelder. I'm Dr. Ariel Killinger. I'm from the anthropology department over at USC. My assistant and I just came by to ask Sam. We were just curious about the upcoming festival. We just wanted some more information, possibly do a cross promotion kind of thing. I know that many of our students would be interested in attending.
Oh, you're from their historical music program, is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
I've read at least a couple of your papers right now. That's very interesting things to say about the development of the hurdy-gurdy. So
thank you. That was very fascinating project.
Yeah,
I never want to hear one again.
Yeah, I after once. So, but no, I would love to stay to be able to chat right now. But as you know, we have a music festival on Saturday that we're really trying to make sure that we're set up for as well. We have a whole. I don't know if you've seen there, but we're going to be taking over the Commons campus right now, and
How exciting!
oh yeah, we get to even modify modify the color of the fountains right now, LEDs that they're
wow.
putting in. So just
I'm sure
something
grounds
else.
people are very excited for that.
Outside of the electrical one. So, but Sam, I need you to bring up. I also need you to bring up these two items in relation, since our player will be. Is asking for them.
Well, you guys seem so busy. Is there anything we could do to help while we're here? I mean, it would be so, it'd be so exciting to be part of this, and they're gonna play with these things. That's incredible.
Yes. So, yes, some of the more rare artifacts will be kind of put out for the first time in a very long time. So let's say a century or two. But
tag me in,
keep
coach.
it in
Put me out. Let me. I know that if your universe is anything like mine, you must be, doing all this on like a skeleton crew and a budget. No budget. So, I'm just saying that
no sleep all week. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As fellow academics, we're here for you, right, Dr. Killinger?
Absolutely.
That could be there. So, so one thing too, I will say, do either of you have human?
Yes, I have human at 70.
Okay. I have 50.
50? Okay. So go ahead and both roll them, so you'll see what things you can get.
You went first. You got it. I didn't get it.
Okay. 8 out of 50.
Okay. 8 out of 50? Okay. Yeah, Pinter, you're just kind of you're trying to get a read on her, but she seems to be special. To you right now, she's kind of looking at it like
she starts talking about academia stuff, and I have no idea whatsoever. I'm just lying, right?
You're trying to get something on there, but you're just kind of getting the personal sheath of go away. So it's. We need to. That's she has no time for you.
I mean, she doesn't even remember her own assistant's name, so I have to say that she's not going to care about me, right?
Welcome to academia. So, but yeah, Ariel, you as you're going through, you can tell that she is feeling over. You could probably tell she's a little overwhelmed. Again, you get that feeling yourself because trying to get a dissertation down in time. God, a year seems like a long time to do that, but just so short to do that. But yeah, she is it's very, very overstressed right now, and it may not happen today, but if you feel that you could probably maybe persuade her for another meeting in the day or two, mm-hmm. You could probably get a little bit more information and maybe see if they can bring over our friend Pinter in as an intern on the ground to work right now, and as well as having you in there. So
sure. Well, Dr. Kelder, I know you're really busy right now and trying to finish up stuff so you can go home. What about tomorrow? I don't have any classes. Could I bring over lunch for you in your office just to kind of help things go through? And then if there's anything that we could assist with tomorrow, we'd be more than happy to.
All right. What's your persuade at?
Somewhere 40.
40. Okay. Go ahead and roll that at a +10 since you've already.
I have offered lunch.
Yeah. Offer. Food makes a difference here.
Oh no, that'd be 54 out of 50. So.
54 out of 50. Okay. She looked at it and said, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm just very busy with that. But if I still would appreciate. It's we might be appreciated the help right now. So if you want to go through Sam tomorrow, to be able to maybe talk around some. Talk about helping set up some of the booth as we need to, that would be perfectly fine. But sometimes they want us to keep it in-house as much as possible too, especially with things this fragile around. So, but no, thank you for your time. She puts her hand out.
Thank you so much. And she'll shake it.
It is ice cold.
Okay.
And again, you kind of sit there and go some people have poor circulation and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. And she was wearing a jacket outside, and it was 90 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, again, a little bit off from what you're considering that as well. So, all right. So, but you have the information there, so as needed.
Yeah. Sarah, we'll be in touch tomorrow.
All right, they nod right now. So, and then she goes back to what she was doing. All right. That's like, is there anything you want to do before gathering, or trying to gather any other information?
Is my office is probably not in between where we are right now and the hotel, because I didn't know if I could go like get some like references to compare stuff to that I saw on the sticks and on the drumhead.
I would say that so your office is there, but you have digital access to everything, so it would have been recorded. So that's absolutely easy to look into.
Okay.
Okay. What are you wanting to look up specifically?
So I'm gonna like the like three symbol,
3-pronged on there.
Uh-huh.
So okay.
And then, like the Oni heads specifically, to see if I can get anything from like illustrated history, to see if there's any particular demon these are in reference to, or if it's just a generic.
Okay, they can do that. So, all right, yeah, you can go ahead and make an anthropology roll or history roll if you want. So, if anybody else, I will say that once you're gathered around there too, if you want to, anybody else can make occult rolls if they want to see what you've seen. I'm assuming you've shared information about Shaw and Tully have shared about their tag at this point.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, or Tully's definitely gonna sort of look into both the peculiarities of this like substance that the sticks seem to be made of, but also just like about sort of like hot cold, or like the particularities of the intruder at the.
Okay. So looking
when they tell us about the intruder, I just want to think back. Was Dr. Kelder wearing gloves?
So she was not actually. So she was not wearing gloves. So
was she about 5'4"?
No, actually, she's a little bit taller.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the actual average height of women in North America.
Yeah. No, she's actually quite a bit taller. She's about 6 foot. So.
Oh, very tall. Nice.
Well, so not Dr. Kelder. Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I failed my roll, 83 out of 60.
83 out of 60. Okay. You will be able to get information in. It's basically just the connection and what's being processed through the system right now. So if you've ever had to go through the academic database at some point, so
it's
just sit there. Yeah. So you'll be able to eventually get that, but it's just kind of a bit of a wait right now. So Tully, so you said that you were wanting to look into the consistency of this. So you could try it. For the amber itself, you do have some people. It's like you can share that around if you want to, because Ariel has other things. That's like has some information about what they were able to pull from the artifacts themselves, including that when she had touched it there. Are you sharing that what you felt from it?
It was the sticks themselves were warm, like a human body temperature warm. And they felt, it was really strange. Like if you've ever been like holding an inanimate object and felt the pulse, it's usually like, your fingers are touching your thumb somewhere. This was not that. The sticks were pulsing. And there is almost like a light under the stone head there as well.
Very alchemical to me. So
does the splinter still feel that way?
Weird as hell.
When you pick it up, it initially doesn't. So that's like you just it just seems to be a fairly cold piece of amber or anything else like that. But it's like you're looking in here. So I will say if you're just in the hotel room, is anybody playing any music, or is there anything on the TV in the background?
Tully will have a headset that's playing music, but not
the headset. Okay. All right, so you have the headset, so you're picking it up, kind of going through there, through just your thoughts, and as you do it, you hear rhythmic. You basically hear the percussion in the back. So, and as you're holding that, you almost get the sensation of just keeping time with your fist. You kind of keep knocking in there. And as you look back at it, it seems like you feel like you need to do it more and more and more, and the tempo starts going up as you're just kind of looking at this, and you can swear that even though you're not seeing pulses in this little shard, it feels like it's something on there feel like it's matching with your own pulse. So go ahead and make. So you're thinking about this with whatever music you decide that you're listening to. So go ahead and make a sanity check.
I failed that one.
All right. So go ahead. So in this case, go ahead and take 1 for when you wake up here in a second. But everybody else, you're talking, and you suddenly just hear, if that's going over there. So, and you're like, "What the hell is that?" And you turn around in the it's like the larger hotel room that you're in, and you could see Tully just beating his hand on the desk. Almost, it's like his knuckles are becoming red as he's staring intently at this piece of that's like the shard of the amber. And even though you can't hear what he is hearing other than the time he's keeping, that's like you can absolutely see it starting to glow some.
Tully.
Go and grab him physically.
Yeah, so
Stop him.
Tully, you feel like everybody's hands on your shoulders taking the headphones off.
Are you okay? Management is going to be very upset with us if you punch a hole in their table.
Jesus, there's something channeling through this substance. I lost it there for a second.
Okay. So in this case, I will say, Ariel, you can actually hear the music that he was listening to. So a little bit, and initially it doesn't sound like what were you initially listening to, Tully, to kind of keep yourself in focus?
It was we'll just say like selected ambient works volume 2.
Okay, so yeah, lo-fi beats,
right?
lo-fi beats to investigate alien objects too. So
Nice.
Ariel, you are hearing this, and go ahead and roll your music history or music theory.
Okay. Hey, critical success.
Critical. So you absolutely can still hear some of the lo-fi beats on there, but it's something seems to be distorting it to the point where it's not like it's either static or another song being overlaid onto it. It's like it's taking the aspects, whatever instruments were used in this point, or which is probably like it's like synth soft, it's like feeling music or anything, and turning it into more that's like more high tempo percussion that is rhythmically going back. It's almost to the exact beat that Tully was hitting on that too. So imagine a violin sound, a stringed instrument that is suddenly being turned into percussion. It still sounds like a violin, but it feels like it's hitting on those instead.
Yeah.
So something that shouldn't be possible with those particular instruments.
Did we have a box that this little sliver thing came in?
Yes, you did.
Tully, will you stick it back in the box?
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
she'll close the box. Is that still happening with the weird?
No. It actually shuts off almost immediately. And if you look into the box, you see that it actually does seem to have. It does seem to be soundproofed on the inside. So that's
weird. I feel like she needs to roll sanity for that.
Absolutely. That's like, so go ahead and make that. So
one thing that, in the brief period would have just been a quick confirmation from Killinger. Does this look, to as far as you can ascertain, the same material?
Absolutely. So, like I said, you would.
I thought that was a foregone conclusion, but I thought we should ask.
At least from what you can see, you do have resources that you can go to for analyses if you absolutely need to, or if you want to take it to the university itself if you feel that Kelder or Sam are trustworthy enough. But yeah, at least from a naked observation, it seems to be the exact same thing.
Oh, okay. So he was listening to this music on his headphones, and then the sliver somehow was interacting with the music that only he could hear, and like changing, like it was going through heavy processing, or almost like the original recording was being changed somehow to make it seem like heavy percussion. And then Tully was smashing into the table, and then the box closed and it stopped.
Yeah.
I listened to lo-fi beats again, and I guess they're back to normal, right? Like, yeah.
But yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. It sounded like whatever this thing was. It literally Tully almost acted as a conduit to change it into the actual music that it was. It was producing the signal or something. And I do see you made your sanity check, right?
Yeah, I did pass that.
Okay. All right. This is still weird because this is an artifact changing reality. So 1 sanity point at least.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Especially because she's just so friendly. So
Yeah.
this is
How many
not what
days-
she signed up for.
How many
But
days
this-
until the festival?
It is currently Monday evening right now, so it is supposed to be on Saturday. So you still have a week to be able to either get the artifact, take it, or get it out. It's like figure out another way to dispose of it. Because if this is in any way similar to it, the shard, then that can be a problem.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough similarities from the previous case and whatever's going on with these things. We cannot let this occur. We gotta get this thing out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, these seem like a harmonic explosive of some kind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially if it's used with the drum head, it made a tone that so like steel drums, like Jamaican steel drums, but like she barely touched it, and then the tone filled the office for almost like a full 60 seconds just from that single little tap. I don't want to think about what might happen when you put that in a college commons over a PA system.
Yeah.
I mean, this artsy cultural music festival, there could be dozens of casualties.
I hate you.
So at least it's something to think about too if that goes into effect. So, but yeah, that's at least what you find out. Before you all call it a night, so I will let you know that you were able, Ariel, you were able to find out some information, and you find that the device itself, is related to a name that you don't really get a full translation on that yet. So, so at least because I don't believe you have Japanese underneath your
I put 20 points in Japanese.
and Japanese. Okay, sorry. All
Not
right.
a lot, just a
And
little.
I have 70, so
70,
Oh, nice.
okay.
Well, let's totally look at it.
All right. So you do see that it comes up with this a relation of a name of some artifact that seems to be more mythological right now, called an onikibo.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, ongekibo. Sorry, I pronounced that horribly, and I'm the one who was actually taking Japanese at points. So. All right.
Okay.
So with that,
Is it
I
at
will say,
70, Aaron? I mean,
yeah, he's at 70. So that one, yeah, you don't have to. The literal translation for that goes towards sound attack clubs,
I see. Yeah.
which they don't really see. So if you're wanting to do a quick research or anthropology roll on that to get any more information, you may do so.
Let me see. I'll have to defer to Dr. Killinger on that one. Killinger on that one.
See what the web can tell us. Nope. 98 out of 50.
50. So, yeah, nothing that you can see with that. The only other thing that you could see is that in some folklore legends, they were related to they're put into relation to some forms of Japanese yokai. But but as of right now, you don't really have any other further information about it. But something that was set to maybe ward them off in some way or another. So,
Interesting. She's also
Yeah.
thinking of like the thunder god who plays like drums. I'm trying to remember if that's Japanese or Chinese mythology.
that's Japanese too. I can't remember
Okay.
the name of it right
Is
now.
it,
So you're not
is
wrong.
it Raiden?
I think it's no.
I only know
No.
the Teen Titans, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Tully will, with that information in mind, sort of hone down his.
Raijin. So it's Raijin.
Okay.
So I do always like it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's like that's not the case, but yeah, you're thinking Raijin. Yeah, so that could be possibly a relation into it. So, all right. But otherwise, anything anyone else wants to do before calling it a night?
Tully, was you going to take a run at some research as well? Because I think
Yeah.
Shaw and me are out of our element in terms of the sticks, right?
Yeah.
We do have other leads I would like to talk about, but metagame wise,
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. That's so.
No, yeah. I was just Tully was just gonna look at sort of trying to narrow his search to to sort of harmonic energy and Japanese occultism or things of that nature.
Okay. So for that, and you had yeah, you can actually go ahead before you go ahead and roll occult if you want to. So.
Oops. 66. That's a critical success.
Okay. Yeah. So outside of this little information that Dr. Killinger has given you, so you're not saying historical, but you do remember some general myths, legends, almost more like urban legends, really, since they had usually where some people would talk about wars of Oni versus yokai, and that's like that they would. That's like one or the other trying to gain more advantages than the other. Sometimes they would state that's like that the Oni were the protectors or the yokai were supposed to be protecting their land, one over the other. But more or less, the whole thing is hearing specific music that wasn't right, that you would hear. That's like you would hear something that would normally not be congruent to the basis of that's like normal beats or anything else. Since you're listening to a bunch of weirder music right now, it's kind of like imagine if everything you listen to suddenly became Godspeed You Black Emperor at any given moment.
Right.
Wow.
I know people that would love that right now, but like it shouldn't conform into this. It's almost not that it's like talking about a sound that is almost non-Euclidean music chords. So if that could make any sense. And that usually people were not able to see these fights because they would just drive themselves completely from it drives them insane. They have to leave the area or else this becomes something even worse. So but yeah, like that's at least the information that you get from that. And Sean, I would say if you want to make idea rolls, if you're not sure if anything, or if you have another question, you can do so.
Well, I was just going to say, I think, me and Shaw, right, as federal agents, leave the two geeks to their geekiness as they delve deep down the hole. Yeah, pushes up the glasses. But, so Shaw, you got attacked.
Yeah, that was the thing I was concerned about, because we either have a third party interested in this or someone close to it already is trying to do something with us right now, because that's bothersome, because they hit me really good on the nose and I didn't like that one bit.
Yeah.
From what you say, they weren't normal, right?
90-degree weather, wearing gloves and a hoodie, not normal.
I was thinking more the 8-foot fence and the barbed wire from what you said, but
yeah, I mean, I've seen some freaks in my day, but nothing like that. It's
PCP, right? Huh? Yeah, we've all seen that.
hey,
Smoking wet.
Yeah. But
something else I do want to mention that I forgot to when you were going through that is that when you were looking back at the barbed wire where it was bent, you can absolutely do see a couple pieces of the hoodie that were torn off of the onto the barbed wire. There was no blood there at all. So it's just a piece of that. So if this person managed to do that, either they got incredibly lucky or are a bit more tear resistant than the average person.
So we've got these sticks, mysterious third party. We've got the festival coming up, and then we've got Mr. What was he called again? Hideki Kano, who is going to be the drummer as well. I've seen the two names and I've spelt them differently in both times. But, they are the same person apparently. So Hideki Kano is a drummer that they've got coming in, but that's also who you had listed on the import papers for these, right?
There's a picture of him supposedly in 2 different time periods. Same person. different
Yeah.
names, same signature.
Yeah.
Would American visa things possibly include like height and stuff? I don't know if they would do.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
I mean, I've been to America and they didn't, but
uh,
you know what
at
I
least
mean?
I could be wrong. Like the last passport I looked at,
No,
I thought it needed them.
passports, yeah, but
Passport.
but he's not is he American citizen?
No. So, at least the information that you pulled right now, the most current one is showing him as a Japanese resident.
Japanese. See, this because if your American ones do, I haven't had a different passport since I was like 16, so it's way out of date in terms of like height and stuff. But I'm just wondering, like Japanese, maybe. Well, every visitor to America has to fill in where they're supposed to be staying, right? So that's on your entrance papers. Essentially, when you come in, you say where your point of address is going to be for the next like X months. So we should pull where Hideki Kano is, because if we think he's a immortal, I mean, step one, right? Like that's enough to make him an operation all by itself. Is the fact that there's two pictures of him at different times, looking the same age, right? Is that something that we should chase down in the morning? I feel like we're not going to be doing much good looking at the sticks.
You can do that, like, or you can put in the request right now just to see how fast you can get it in, because that would just be that's like online. You're with ATF and federal agency, so you could pull that in pretty quickly. So
yeah, we'll put the request in, but I just mean more in terms of like taking a closer look, maybe even having a conversation with Mr.
Yep. So that's absolutely good. So all right. Yep. We'll go ahead and do that. And Shaw, anything else you wanted to do?
Not right now. Pretty tired. Got that nose really stings.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be the case. So all right. But yeah. So
I throw you a cold can out of the mini fridge and say like, "Hey, for your nose, man."
I actually
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to question. So the mythology or the occultism around this, that there are warring factions essentially. There's related to this thing. There's someone who's trying to prevent, or it's used by one group against another.
So that is kind of the idea that it seems to be that's going around. But again, this is all just this is myth and legend that's turned into more urban legend at this point. So. This would be.
I understood it less as like two factions fighting over it, as that like one group used it to defend themselves against an attacker. Like, legends told that the land was saved from the sound attack clubs kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that you have, and basically, and that's the thing about the reason why this also comes into turn is because, most of these, totally for what you saw is that this could, either which side could be just as nearly as destructive as the other. So that brings up the point right now that one little story comes up saying the Oni that's like managed to drive this yokai off, but its winds that it created caused a hurricane that completely decimated the land. So little things like that
just got me thinking about our intruder versus. I mean, it seems obviously that this immortal person is what some sort of or this thing is. It might not necessarily be. We might have two different factors purposes, but that's just an assumption.
At least part of that. So all right then. But yeah. So like I said, a lot of information kind of AQ can go ahead and set for the next day. So you all go to sleep. And let's see. Everybody go ahead and make a luck check. So we'll do it one at a time. So Tully, high or low?
High.
Okay.
Am I making that check?
Yes, you are. So
is that a 1D?
It's a percentile die. So yeah, and then okay. So all right. Ariel.
I'll go high as well.
Okay.
High's working out so far.
Yep.
Who next? Oh, do
All
we
right, I'm
have?
sorry,
We
Shaw.
haven't
Sorry.
touched-
Yeah, I was
we
like,
ha-
I
we
was assuming
haven't-
everybody's going to go there. So sorry.
we haven't touched any weird stuff. Sure. Well, I don't know. if Shaw has actually.
That's true. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got hit by a weird thing, but I'll go
Yeah,
high on this.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And Agent Pinter.
Ah, damn! You don't have to touch it. Why break the trend, right? Looks going so far. I'll go high.
All right.
I mean,
Let's see.
statistically, this is probably the bad choice, right? If I thought about it, but yes, it's the bad choice.
All right. So Ariel and DeMarcus. So you are the only two who it's like are waking up. Shaw, it's hard to sleep with a nose. So, but
Yeah.
that made you a bit more light sleeper, and you're hearing shuffling. You're hearing more shuffling outside, and you instantly think like, oh, somebody else must have gone to the bathroom or something. No, that is absolutely outside, and you can hear movement around to try to get seeing if hands on the window somewhere. Somebody's trying to get in.
Fuck.
All right. Unholstered weapon. I tap on Agent Pinter to wake him up because I know he's got a gun with him too.
So Ariel is seeing this as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're
Okay.
the two that are first awake here.
She's going to roll off of the bed and try and like hide underneath it.
Okay, so
And if she can grab her phone to take with her while she does that.
absolutely. So yeah, that's one thing with that. So if you're trying to do it quietly though,
Yeah.
um
Oh shit. I have
So-
10 in stealth.
a 10 in stealth. So yeah, if you're trying to do it quietly, that's stealth. If you just want to get underneath there, no matter what, that you don't have to make a roll for that.
I'm gonna try and go quietly.
Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, Shaw,
Nope.
you were getting Pinter up.
Yeah, just quickly tapping him, and unholstering the gun.
Okay. So all right. So you both have the guns on holster. Are you getting Tully up or?
Is it the
I'll just
wake me up with a gun in one hand and your hands on your lips, right?
You-
Like,
You
Mhm.
probably probably woke up when Ariel slammed onto the floor and smacked her head into the night dresser.
All right. So yeah, you're not that. So yeah, Tully, you're up. You see Shaw and Pinter getting their guns out, and seem to be getting into defensive positions around the door. You see, Ariel just kind of slide on the bed in the most loud way possible,
Clunk.
and then shuffle underneath it. But you go ahead and make an awareness check at a +20.
me. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Awareness. Awareness is. Yeah. Awareness. Hold on. Let me roll that. $37. Awareness. Where's that on my sheet?
It should be right on the left underneath accounting for alertness.
Oh,
I said awareness. I'm sorry. So I apologize.
that's fine. Yeah, so I got that 37 out of 40.
37 out of 40. So, all right. Yeah. As you, that's like, are getting into like your hidey hole away from the windows, just in case there's any gunfire that's coming up, you swear you can hear a high pitched tone. Not unlike kind of what you were hearing a little bit when the music was altering, but it sounds far clearer than that too, almost like akin to a tuning fork. And it seems to be going in and out, almost like the only thing you can kind of bring to your mind is echolocation.
Oh shit. I can tell where it's coming from.
You can't really get it's not in the room, but it's definitely, the reason you can tell is because it's outside and it seems to be vibrating the window almost at the almost imperceptible rate. And you kind of find it odd that nobody else is hearing this.
That is weird. Shit. Well, I guess I could.
do you hear that?
Are you saying that? Okay.
Well, I mean, Eric, Dr. Killinger has already made some noise already, so I'll say, I I think it's echolocating. So we need like make as much noise as we can. I don't know.
All right, so yeah, it's about that time where that's like you all hear the door handle, but that's like instead of and it hits the deadbolt, like I said, it hits the end of the deadbolt, but then it just keeps turning as you hear the wood cracking.
Opening fire.
Run over. I'm about to leap towards the door when boom, shit.
Right.
Opening fire right through the door. No.
All right.
Not messing with this.
All right. We'll kind of get into initiative here in a second. So, but yeah, so you're opening fire on that. Definitely rings out. You hear what sounds like a more high-pitched voice scream in the back, but turn off. But yeah, it does. And then it seems that the door goes flying off the hinges and back off to the side, and you see that it's like Shaw and Pinter, or sorry, Tully, you'll recognize that what looks like that hooded figure, except one of the sides of the sleeves is definitely ripped off, and that blackened portion that you saw on there looks less like flesh and more like carapace that just goes down into that's like black and purple accents. What looks like this odd silvery gold accent, almost like veins running off to the side. And you can't see underneath the hood since it's too dark, but it just stares at you saying, "Where is it?" So everybody can take a sand check.
Right?
Yeah, no, I was already firing. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, first off, everybody go take a sand check. So see where we're at.
I succeeded.
I crit succeeded.
Yeah. So
It seems like a waste of a critical success, frankly.
hey, you know what? Take it where you can. So.
No, failure for Dr. Killinger.
All right.
Not having a good day.
Hiding under the bed.
All
Makes
right.
it worse when you can't see what's making the noise.
All right. So everybody else except Dr. Killinger, unfortunately, made that. So Dr. Killinger, let's see. That will be. Oh, keep wanting to roll R. So. All right. Come on. That'll be 3 sanity. So
Okay.
you're hiding under the bed. You're safe at least for the moment, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and hit initiative. So, what is everybody's dex?
Mine is 12.
12?
13.
10.
14.
10? Well, you hide very well. So
I very quickly.
14 and 12. All right. So in that case, yeah, actually, so you did have the sand loss, but you're obviously there. Is there anything you would like to do? So
just so I can get kind of an idea of the room. So you said, so the door that he blew off, that's like to an inside hallway?
Yeah, it's kind of like more like a foyer. So you
Okay.
you have a hotel room that basically is, well, I say motel room, but it basically is kind of like a large gathering area. Let's just slash the living room, and then off to the side there are 4 other bedrooms. So
Okay.
that's there.
Okay.
you-
And then
Is there a window? Like, are we on the ground
is there-
floor?
You are on the ground floor. Yes.
Okay. So
Can we yell out of initiative? Like, you know?
If you're wanting to speak or something, what are you trying to say? So
I'm just gonna like, don't let it get. Like, the box is on the table, right? Like,
is it
or
out
like-
on the table in the common room?
it would. If you decide to be there too, if you wanted to secure it someplace else, you may do that as well. So that's up to you.
We put it on the Killinger's bed, obviously. No,
Okay.
I don't know. But
Okay,
just
so
maybe get it out of the room is all I'm thinking.
yeah.
Okay.
So wherever it is, Kellinger is probably trying to secure
Get towards it. So okay.
the sliver. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that if you want to, that it's like being on that, you probably there's probably a hotel safe that was by each bed or something. So if you wanted to put it near the one yours easily enough too.
I definitely
just-
wanted to sleep next to that thing. Yes.
Yeah. It's not like it's going to talk to you or anything. So, but yeah, you can grab that, and if
Mhm.
you are wanting to run out or at least get there, that would be an athletics check to just start pulling some distance between you.
Yeah, I'll try and get to the window, I guess, and get
Okay.
out.
All right. So yeah, if you have the cards or anything else, so go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, 21 out of 50.
Okay. Right now, the whatever it is still the figure is still more concerned with the people holding guns on it. So you don't have to worry at least about that. But yeah, you make a dash and kind of roll out from the window where it was. It's where you can get it open from
Uh-huh.
inside. So we'll go back to the second. All right. Blaze. So, or sorry, Andy. Pinter, what do you do?
I'll take any of the three names. It's fine.
Yeah. You, that person.
Yeah. So Shaw did shoot it through the door, right?
He shot through the door, but there was no hits as far as you could tell. So
Okay. Well, I'll just unload my pistol into it, of course.
okay, so we're going for like a full 3-round burst on it.
Yeah, is that what
So,
you do in Delta Green?
One of those you can do that, but it will. It's like it also that will do maximum damage, but also at the same time it's going to be hard if you reload. So
I definitely want to. It seems fairly close, and I have a pistol. I'm going to unload as many bullets as I can to it in a short amount of time as possible.
Okay.
So, do I roll 3 times for that, or
no, that's be one shot. So, and then we'll calculate damage after that. So
cool. Because I haven't played many ones where it's in Delta Green where it's come to actual gunshots. You know.
yeah,
14.
guns are
Nice.
scary.
Yeah.
14. Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely gonna go ahead and hit. So from there, that's like they're not doing any kind of dodging right now. So damage wise, what was the gun that you were carrying? That was just a
basic pistol, so 1d10 medium pistol.
9mm. So okay. So all right. Go ahead and roll 1d10. We'll kind of go times 3 on that.
So just do 3d10 or
Yeah,
1d10 times 3.
Yeah.
Which one? 3d10. Okay.
3d10. So yeah, let's go for that.
Oh no! I just did exactly what you were doing.
Yeah,
what you were
okay,
saying you were going to do. Yeah.
We're so used to that at points, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
20. 857.
857. All right, that's actually pretty good. So, and yeah, you do hit. It is not moving out of the way, but as you see it sink in, you can feel some of the. It's like you hear the bullets hit. So, and one of them definitely seems like it sinks a little bit further because you hear the creature kind of this figure cry out. But you do see the other two that hit around the arm as it put it up, just slough off. So from that, so you can go ahead and take a sand check. Shaw, you're right in front. You can choose to see if you see that or not. So,
Oh, of course I see it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So both of you go ahead and take sand checks.
That's fine. It's fine. I mean, at least it's
Oh, it's not fine.
Yay!
All right. So first off, yeah, let's go ahead and do this as needed. Oh man. So, all right. First we have. Oh, I almost did that again. So, 1d6. So, come on. I'm sorry. All right. So that is only going to be 3 for you, Pinter. So.
Oh, okay. Wow. So even on a success, you take.
A 16. Yeah, it's going to be there too. That was be bad. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're going to see what the case here is. All right, 1 to 10.
No.
I am so sorry. So that is a tenor. You have come up against a bulletproof creature. Fight, flight, or freeze.
I am fighting. I'm just getting in bloodlust at this point. Like, you gotta die.
Okay. So, well, yeah, that's gonna, yeah. So, DeMarcus, it was technically yours. So you're just unloading into this right now. So go ahead and make your attack roll. See if it hits.
That is a hit. So.
That's a hit. So yeah, go to load that. You're on the free round burst, so go ahead and make that. Three, seven, four. So yeah. All right, and let's see. I will roll a luck check. So because this creature, I will say that's going to be low. It is not. So actually, you get lucky on the two of the the 3 of the 4 shots. Honestly, the first shot and last shot missed, but the second one hit, and that's when you actually see blood a little bit coming out of the other hoodie too, and it is very red. So it is does not seem, and you can actually see what looks to be normal flesh underneath of it. So like it's a bit more crimson, but yeah, the creature immediately backs off. So it is wrapping itself around the corner for a second. All right. And last but not least, Dully.
So it is retreating at this point?
It has gone around the corner, although I will say, because you're starting to hear sirens because gunshots, so...
Right. Shit. Well, I don't have any weapons, and did I hear correctly that Ariel had secured or was going to secure the shard?
You can. It's like yes. Ariel has the shard itself, but go ahead and make another awareness check. So
base.
Actually, it is at the +20 again, like for the alertness check again, like you did last time. So +20.
Succeed.
All right. It's kind of weird. You know exactly where Ariel is. You know that she jumped out the window, but you actually have a feeling that she's going to the car. It's almost kind of like you can see her.
Oh shit.
It is the weirdest thing. Like it's dark, but it feels like your senses are a little bit dialed up more off.
Can I tell where the other thing is?
Oddly enough, yes. You know, that's like you technically saw it behind the door, but it's more like feeling its presence too.
Oh shit. Well,
and you hear that high-pitched tone sound coming again, but it seems not like the echolocation, but just a call or cry of pain, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Like it's trying to do something to help itself.
Let's see. Oh shit, I don't think I can make any more noise than a gunshot actually would. So I'm going to go after Ariel, just sort of.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll kind of go back to the top of the round. So, Ariel, you are out that's like the window. You actually, because you're on the ground level, you are side to side with this thing now. You probably have a good about 10 to 15 feet between you. So you have space, but it does see you.
Okay, then is it parking lot outside? Is it like
yeah, it's parking lot. So
okay,
it's parking lot, and you can see where your vehicle's parked. But yeah, you probably got a good 30 to 40 feet from where you parked. So
that's really close, actually. Okay, then yeah, I'm probably honestly not gonna try and I don't know if she would have keys like with her to be able to get into the car even. So
actually, let's see. Another luck check. Did you grab those on your way out? So
yeah, was she thinking about it?
So that could be high or low.
Oh, I didn't even call it. We'll go low since.
Yeah. Okay. You can do it one more time. So.
Nope.
Keys aren't there. So.
Okay, so she's just gonna run to try and put as much distance between herself and this thing, and try and get like multiple vehicles between her and the.
All right, so yeah, you tried to go with that too. So all right, I will say go ahead and make an athletics check. Okay.
Oh, 60 out of 50.
60 out of 50? Okay. So, nope, you're slowing it down there. So, it's just, you're already exhausted. You're scared. It's going to be...
Been a day.
It's been a day right now. All right. So, that being said, the creature itself starts running after you. So, and even though it's injured, it seems to be sprinting. Although, the rest of you, I will say, So, DeMarcus, so we'll get back to you in a second too, because you basically kept firing even when it was out of shot too. So your clip
Oh,
is
yeah.
gone.
Mhm.
So, but you were also running after it too. So we'll get back to you in a second. Pinter Tully, what are you doing?
So if Ariel's gone out of the window and we've driven it out of the door, but then we realize we probably hear like, it's straight out, for the closest way of helping Ariel at the moment, like out the door. I'm imagining that Shaw is probably, ran after it shooting right as it ran out kind of thing, and then only paused when his
Empty
gun
firing.
clicked empty. And I'll just push past him, and if I don't know if I can move, and I probably just can only move this round, right? Like,
Like so, you can try to catch up to it if you want to. So, because it's basically bursting after Killinger. So,
I only want to get close enough that I can take a shot.
okay, yeah. So go ahead and make an athletics roll, just to see if you are in range.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So this will you'll basically be able to take a shot next turn, so that you've basically gotten yourself in a position where it won't do that. You won't be able to, you'll catch up without shooting anybody else. All right, and Tully.
So can I make, with my voice, with my vocal cords, can I make the tone, can I make the sound that this thing is, that I'm hearing?
Let me see where that is. So what kind of skill are you wanting to use for that?
That's a good question.
Because I would usually say that as kind of a performance-based skill.
What about occult or persuade?
Occult or persuade. So, what is your occult skill again?
My occult skill. Is there like a sub skill, or is it just? Are you just asking for the number?
No, there is an occult skill on here, so you can actually have that as a skill. I don't have your character sheet pulled up.
I have 80.
80? Okay, that's what I thought. So, all right, I'm going to say to do that, you can absolutely try, although this is kind of a little leaning more natural, but I'm going to say that can be done at negative 30, essentially, because you're trying to replicate something in your head without being a vocalist.
Right.
So, and trying to do something, a noise that probably shouldn't exist in nature. So,
well, do or die. Let's see how we go.
29. All right.
I do it. I make that noise.
Do it?
My whistle tone.
29. All right. All right. So good. Then in this case, you do actually manage to create this noise. It feels like it is ripping your vocal cords to shreds by doing that. Like you're trying to maintain. You're doing your version an octave lower just to make sure it's not draining yourself. But it does, to your surprise, actually stop the figure in its tracks for a second as it looks back to you, going confused. And that's when I will say the other two. So I will say only be Pinter and Tully, since Ariel, you're running away, and Shaw, your nose and your brain hurts. So.
Well, I am chasing after him in bloodlust, so I'm just...
That's true. So. Yeah, you're running out, but you just don't see that. But you actually do see a bit of the face underneath the hood. And the odd thing of it is that it is partially obscured, but one looks almost like a helmet, if that makes any sense. It almost looks like a smoother faceplate with ornate carvings or accoutrement, essentially, over the face itself, kind of forming it, but then these smaller horns coming out of it in that same purplish black or silver accents. The other thing is that it doesn't seem to be fully formed, though, and on the other side, you definitely see some. You definitely see some eyes on there. And Pinter, you can go ahead and make an alertness check for this. For recognition.
Yeah, I'm imagining that Shaw is just still running straight towards it, screaming as I stop and go, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I make it.
You make it? All right. So you absolutely do. That's Samboyd.
Samboyd.
So that was the assistant you met with earlier.
Oh, Sarah Boyd. Okay,
Or Sarah
sorry.
Boyd, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
when you said
Sorry.
Sam Boyd, I thought it was
Sorry,
like one
sorry,
word,
it
and it was a
says Sarah
Japanese
Boyd,
word
yeah.
that I hadn't heard of at all. You know.
Well, I cannot write with anything. I thought that was an M. So anyway,
Yeah.
so that's there, and her eyes lock into you, and she sees that you've recognized her.
Yeah, I roll sand for seeing.
Yep, go ahead and make that.
Woman who I was
Absolutely.
flirting with earlier turned into whatever this was. Well, I failed that.
All right, so yeah, that is somebody else out there. So let's see. Yeah,
But
this is.
Sarah was at the. Can't have been the one at the green box.
Mhm.
Damn.
So that's going to be 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And yeah, this is a little bit of a distract. And before you have time to react to that, that's because you're still hearing sirens now coming out at this point. That's when you hear what sounds like a really loud Harley, like just a very loud motorcycle engine behind you. And that's like
I'm really curious if Shaw has managed to catch up and try and tackle this woman in hand-to-hand combat. You know?
So we're actually 1 second here. So we're at that point. So, but you see it come out of the bushes or the shrubbery that was out of here. It's still very dark even there, but it looks like it is some sort of helmeted it's like rider who just slams the bike into the figure in this era, and she goes flying through the rest of over Ariel, where you're by the car, into the bushes and gone. So she's not getting. You can't tell if she's getting back up or not, or she's scrambling. But you have this alternate figure who is now on a motorcycle, staring at the rest of you through its visor.
What is Shaw doing with this fight?
And that being said, going back to Shaw, my question.
Anything that's a threat right now, I'm going after. So if
I was
I
wondering
was
if you
chasing
ran
after
after the
her,
woman
I'm
who's thrown into the
rushing
bush.
right after him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Are you
I
shooting?
thought you were
I
just going
cannot
to finish the
think-
job off.
Are
I
you
cannot
shooting or are
think
you
straight right now? So
rushing?
I'm just rushing right at him.
Okay, and you'll have control of yourself soon. So, all right. So, go ahead and make whatever attack that you're going to make. So,
let's see. I'm assuming that would be like pistol whipping, or just 'cause it's the only thing I have in my hand. So.
Yeah. So that would probably be
Melee, maybe.
or armor. I would say like it'd be an armor attack. So or melee. If you have melee weapons, you can use that. So.
Unarmed's better, but I'm going to use melee because that's really what it is.
Okay.
No, I think it's actually unarmed because like a heavy flashlight is like unarmed.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll allow you to use that if you want to.
Improvised
So
weapons is
that's fine.
But I think for a gun, it's only like 1d4 -1 unless you have a strength modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you absolutely hit. So, and it cracks the visor on this rider, and as you look up, you definitely get a hit on them. So, we're about the damage for the moment, but you look back, and that's not a human eye looking back at you. It's very much larger and very red. And it picks you up once and just says very, very slowly,
"Don't meddle in things. This goes way beyond your pay grade."
drops you, and rides off through the bushes that it damaged.
Ariel is very glad she was across the road at the gas station by that point and didn't get to hear it.
What's in the bushes? Like where the woman, Sarah Boyd, got thrown?
Where she was thrown through the hedges. So,
yeah,
she's
I mean, as
gone.
soon as it's gone, I'm like,
Yeah, he was. The figure was going in the exact same direction, and it's gone. So. But yeah, that's about when the police are arriving, wondering what the hell's going on. So,
I look at Shaw and like I take the gun slowly from his hand, right? And I say, "Is this your drop piece or your real piece?" Shaw, look at me. Drop piece or real piece?
Am I still just out of it?
No, you're out of it now. Like this is just a temporary. So yeah, you're good.
Drop piece. There were drug dealers here. We were fighting drug dealers. Yeah.
Someone broke into our room.
Mhm.
We're on something completely unconnected to this. Nothing
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Someone broke in. We opened fire. Yeah.
I'm ATF. They were drug cartel. They were after me.
Yeah.
They knew where I was. That's right. Right. Right.
Yeah. Right. You just take a breath, sure. Take a breath. Yeah. And then in our thing, I'm gonna shit. Like in pajama bottoms, right? Like lounge pants, basically like bare. And I look down and I've just got a gun in my hand and I'm like, shit, the badges are in there. Right. You go get the badges. We'll go.
Yeah, it takes a bit for the police to go like, all right, your hands up, you're reaching the bag very slowly. So
federal agents, like ATF, FBI.
Yeah, so you absolutely have that. So Ariel,
went into the gas station to get a cup of coffee and is sitting there.
Waiting for it. Okay,
waiting for someone to come tell her she can come out.
All right, and Tully, what were you doing?
I mean,
working on their opera career.
Yeah, just the very cutthroat.
You realize that you basically made. It's like you made a noise that you shouldn't have, that no living thing should be able to produce. So
is that a sand check then?
That absolutely is a sand check. So
as one of us goes back into the room to grab the badges, right? There's Tully just making a noise.
So wait, so my current is 69, so I got a 70. That means I fail.
So, that is a fail. So with this, there is, I'm gonna say right now with your skill check right now. So with that, you can go ahead. You're gonna lose 10 right now off the bat. So
okay.
and I would say if you would want to, if you're okay with it, you're freezing at the moment. If you want to go, unless you have another idea that you want to go with.
Use your bonds.
So, but. You just you tapped into something that you didn't realize is on there. So gain 10% unnatural.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you're out there, out in the garage, going like you just don't know how you did that. That is, you might have tapped into the music of the spheres. No one really knows. So.
Yeah, just sort of clutching at my throat and trying, afraid that's going to make that sound again.
You don't think that's blood leaking out? That might be your soul, depending on the situation. So, all right, but yeah, everything takes a bit to calm down to.
Find killing her as soon as the cops aren't going to blow us away.
So you were able to find. You absolutely were able to find that. Almost probably within about 30 minutes. All of your cell phones are acting. Have given you an address of a new hotel, or motel to get to. You're told to go there as quickly as possible. So with that, and once you arrive, your handler is immediately there, wanting. Wanting agent. I say it's Agent Capshaw. So who is your particular handler? Wanting to know what the hell happened.
Vector enemies attacked us. Two different. They seem to attack each other.
Wait. What do you mean two different?
Well, one of them attacked Agent Shaw earlier.
What did it look like?
Well, it's Miss Sarah Boyd. We should get her.
Wait, so there's it. You know what this thing is?
Well, wait. Actually, how could it be Sarah Shaw? That happened at the same time. She was at the university when
could be more than one of them.
I don't know. All I know is we got vectors. We got a Ghost Rider thing threatening me. I don't like. We got a shit.
Tully, go get something from the fridge, man. You
the minute you say Ghost Rider, Shaw, Capshaw stops for a second. What do you mean a Ghost Rider? Explain yourself.
As we were combating the vector, another vector literally ran it away over with a motorcycle, and then picked me up and threatened me and told me to not get involved, and drove off on a motorcycle.
Did you get a close look at it? Its face?
I saw its eye.
What did it look like?
It was not a normal eye.
Was it red and compound?
Was it red and compound? I can't quite remember exactly.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. That's what it was.
Shit. Okay. This just became more serious. If that thing's involved, we're all in danger.
What is
I
it?
feel like I'm in danger already.
What do you know on that? So yes. But no. She sits down for a second, takes out a cigarette. No. This is something that does not go beyond this room. This is a known entity that we actively avoid if it is involved because of the damages it has gone through. It is not the first time that we've dealt with this or its ilk, but the fact of the matter is that it is incredibly dangerous. What have you found out about the artifacts? Are they genuine?
They're weird as fuck. So if that counts, yes.
In what way? What is describing weird as fuck?
Okay, they have a pulse and they have a light that comes out of them that matches the pulse, and they change music. If they're anything like this sliver in the box, they change music to be their own music, whatever's going on at the time. Yeah.
Jesus. So, yes, Tully.
You're muted.
Said it's a kind of it's a harmonic energy conduit. It turns sound into energy. I think that's what I'm thinking, and it's very dangerous, and it's hypnotic as well.
Hand you a big thing of hot tea.
So if this is actually put on display, then that's like for a public, then you feel like this would have similar effects to what happened to you?
We think that from what Dr. Killinger has told us, that if this is if this instrument is used in an actual environment of play, we will see the kind of devastation that this kind of thing has been associated with in the past.
Okay. Are you telling her about the note you say?
About this. You want to know about this?
Well, I'm not
Awful.
out of character. Are you telling her about this? So that you were able to about your resonance with this thing.
I'll leave other people to talk about that. I'm just gonna act like this is me.
Yeah, Dr. Killinger didn't hear anything. She was,
So you're the only one who knows this. They might have heard a sound, but they didn't know it came from you. So
none of us know. We just
it's all you, bud.
So that was at least there. But we'll leave that decision.
Okay.
All right.
You must have really screamed when the shots went off, right? Like
So
I would like to ask our handler about. Okay. Look, the rider. Okay, right. We avoid him. But we got another party out there, right? Multiples. Boyd. If it's Boyd, it looked like Boyd, right? They can look like humans. We saw her just at the university just earlier today. She seemed totally normal, and now she's ripping down our goddamn door. But wait, the hoodie was torn as well, right? So it was the same hoodie that was being worn by the attacker, but then that would mean that she was in two places at the same time at one time, right?
And you do note that Shaw wasn't. Boyd wasn't wearing a hoodie. So.
Well, yes, but it looked like. Yeah. Well, I mean, at the university, but she could have changed.
At the university, they would have, but no, there's no mistaking it. So unless she has a twin sibling, or something else is going on.
So there's more than one Boyd, and one of them's a freaking what? Seems like we got bigger problems than some masked rider dude. We got infiltrators.
So again, this absolutely can be a bigger part of that. But since an attack has gone on, I am loath to keep you out here on regular assignment, but I think we need to make sure that we can at least acquire these the artifacts. What were you calling them again? So,
What did we call
and I will put that in here. So the Ongenkibo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The sound attack clubs. Yeah.
All right. So we still need to get those into our possession because if, again, this is either what they're going after to getting them off of the field, hopefully might stop the attacks. And if nothing else, we can later on have somebody, let's like set up a honeypot for them, so to speak. So that that is not involving you.
Listen, we're going to need more guns than these. Need bigger, something bigger.
We don't want to do that here. So that is going to be your primary concern. As for Boyd, I think that we should look into it just to confirm if that's the creature, so you can point an arrow at somebody else. But that's like, I would highly suggest not making that's like yourselves too familiar with these people, especially if she is not who she says she is, or she's familiarized herself. That's like with you on a from your previous contact.
Well, she already knows my face. I can always say that we didn't finish one of the forms. I need to bring them over.
Okay. Then if you're doing it in the daytime with it, I suggest you do that then. So, but we need to have this in our possession as soon as possible. So try to go through legal, but if not, then quick and dirty should be the case.
Oh, I had talked about delivering lunch. I guess now today, I could definitely bring some heavily armored catering people with us to deliver lunch to the two of them.
Okay.
And a large, well-equipped van as well.
Okay. Well, then that may be the better case then.
But they'll be in public. We can't snatch them in public.
No. If it could possibly be taken in transit, that might not be a bad idea. But this is another one where, if you can also gather that information as much as possible.
I mean, if we're gonna try and take them like that, then it's I know a great place just around the corner. Follow me, guys. I'll drive. Don't worry. And then you drive into an underground car park, and we're all stood there with shotguns, and we hostile take them. But
I'm really excited for that plan.
But that seems like a big escalation. And we don't know. We don't know Boyd and Keller are in on this.
I'd much rather have car trouble on the middle of a bridge or something that you've shut down both ends for.
But then what do we do from there is the question. We'll have them in hand, but they're not the drumsticks. The drumsticks are going to be...
Right, because only half of you are out there with them, and then the other half of you are at the school with the sticks.
Mm-hmm. So
we're gonna steal it, or are we gonna do the legal route and say that
I don't know. I just watch movies.
Yeah. But we just need. It depends on our approach, because if we're gonna do the legal route, we can just say that they are stolen artifacts that need to be seized for whatever reason, right? And then we can knock up some fake ones or whatever, right? We can do something, but that's an organizational bureaucratic law enforcement approach versus yeah, but that's us, right? Yeah. If we choose,
and the more quiet that you can keep it is the absolute best right now. We can take the more aggressive approach later. So
if we're gonna black bag it, I honestly think that the black bagging it is better just at night. Less people at the university. We don't want to break into the university and steal it in broad daylight is my main argument. We can meet them for lunch and sound them out and get a better read on things.
And I don't know if you can plant cameras or microphones or whatever, map out the building.
We can get it.
At least possibly.
Knowing that they knew where our hotel was, they knew where the green box was. I think speed is of the essence. I think if we have to black bag it, we have to do it.
They know
tonight,
where that is. They know where that thing is.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming you're pointing to the shard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we clutched in Killinger's hand still, or thrown across the room or whatever. Right?
Yeah. Then we can go ahead and maybe take that off the trail. So she reaches out and grabs it. Tully.
Thank you.
So, I should note, I think this substance produces a sound that can be heard by whatever forces are at work here. So just that's something to be aware of, especially if we're going to black bag this thing. We have to be aware that it is probably going to be trackable. We're going to be tracked.
We need
All right.
soundproofing. We need boxes with soundproofing in it.
We can produce that, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Tully, yeah, Cartwright, that's like your, sorry, Capshaw's getting ready to take that away too, and it's feeling a bit weird getting separated from you, just slightly. Go ahead and make a sand check.
Emotional support, Sliver.
That is a failure.
Okay, how much did you fail by?
5.
5. If you would like to burn will to make sure that you are not grabbing for it Smeagol style,
yes.
you may do so. Okay. So, all right. You try to go. You realize, like, oh no, that's not what I need. This is not at the moment. Kind of pulling yourself back. So, all right. But yeah. So Capshot leaves you in. You will have. That's like they've told you that there are other agents on the other side of the on the other side of the hotel. So to basically give you a little bit more protection, just as an early warning system. But this is also a last. Basically on break if only under emergency. So that means that you are not expected to use them unless something else really bad goes down. So, but that'll be kind of the planning stage of how you want to get back to the university. So I was saying if we would take a short break, we can do so and then get started back in. So,
Okay.
All right, no problem. Be right back. So. Okay, we're back. So good. All right. So, hope you're enjoying it so far, and not that we might have become infected with something. So, we're also while waiting for everybody going over documentations for bed financing. So, as I was joking before, I had to go through adulting today, and
What kind are you getting?
it is. I've bought a hybrid, so of for coil springs and memory foam. So
Cool.
they're actually very comfortable. So just I was very surprised, but they also they threw it a deal for like an adjustable base, so I didn't have to buy a regular ugly metal one
Awesome.
or anything. It's all sorts of fun. All right. I would be drinking something else than Cherry Zero, but Ross has all the other sours that I bought, so mainly because I left them there. So, although I will go with drinks. I may, depending on how this game goes, I might toast it with the remaining of what I have of this. So,
What is it?
this is Lagavulin 16. So,
Wow, Lagavulin, man, that's good.
I had never had it before, and I couldn't get it in Springfield, and I got it on vacation down in Galveston because somebody had it. So
Nice.
I just tried my first Woodford Reserve, which is from the other side of the pond, right? But
Yeah.
it's nice. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been lucky enough to have a Lagavulin though. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I was lucky to find it too. It was a very cute little store on in Galveston, which I'll have to say after this game ends with everybody's death or whatnot. So we'll find out.
How much was it, if you don't mind me asking?
That one I got for $111 with tax. So
See, that is import prices as well, right? So I could probably afford it if I really wanted to spend the money. But
yeah, no, like I said, I actually found one. I found another one earlier on because we were on an island and they had a liquor store there, and I found that one, but with taxes it would have been like $160. So the other place was much nicer and it was very cool. So
yeah.
All right. Tully, are you back and ready?
Said to proceed without him for a minute or two in the chat.
Okay. So, he did. Okay, I just saw that right now. So, all right,
We've got two different chats, so
no, I do have the private chat here set off to the side so I can actually see it. All right. So that being said, you do have the plans. It is the next day. You're at least rested, or you've been able to take that up. Shaw, if you want to regain a hit point, you may. Since
Yay!
you've had a day for your nose to heal.
Took only 3 things of frozen peas, right? Just
one steak at least. That's how we do it.
I mean, the very first thing in the morning, right, is as soon as Home Depot opens, it's buying a whole bunch of ear protectors, sound muffling equipment. You know what I mean? Like insulation, like just maybe going to a music shop and buying there must be some sort of soundproof, lined box kind of thing to not soundproof, but just dampening, right? So you don't clang together, that kind of stuff.
So it's pretty easy. Also, if you do, I'm trying to think if you can actually get certain types of EVA foam, I believe, that you could put on there. That it's not a perfect soundproofing, but it's good in the moment. So if you want to do that, that would be absolutely available.
I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but I just want to have lots of it available when we do decide what to do with it, right?
Okay. So no, if you're wanting to do that, that absolutely is preferable as well. So I could say that's easily within your budget to get that. What are the plans you have? So the areas of investigation are going back to the Claire Trevor School over at University of California, Irvine, to talk to Dr. Cadler again, and also to see if you could get contact with Sarah Boyd as well to make some confirmations, even if she's there. So trying to figure out a way to legally move both the bachi if necessary, or
if we
figuring out a way to steal blackball.
If we dig up dirt on the importer, then this is an entirely legal case. where
Okay.
it's C's taken away. You know, like the delta green op is the real op, right? Like, because if the import is dirty in any way that we can pin on him, then the things that he's imported can be revoked. The license for them to be there can be revoked, and they can be seized as part of our ongoing investigation.
Absolutely.
So I did throw them in the chat, but like, it feels as though the immortal drummer guy is screaming out to me for like, we need to find out what the hell's going on with that, right?
Yeah, because we haven't discussed it right now with the drummer. So for Hideki Kano.
We have the date with these research people as well. So that's where I'm currently at, right? There's the two options we can pursue simultaneously again, and hopefully not.
Yeah, and not fuck up too bad.
So no, those are always options too. We always have option beta. Option omega, which is just steal and run. So
yeah,
but
we got 4 days to do that. So and it's, as far as we know, it's not going anywhere before the festival.
As far as you know.
Yeah.
We might go somewhere if every night is like last night. So.
Yeah.
At the very least, we got to wait until tonight before we do it, anyways. Really,
Well, I guess right when their office opens, Dr. Killinger call over and just see if she can get Sarah, and just under the pretense of, are there any allergies that I should know about in your office for getting catering or whatever?
Okay, so you're calling up the office to see if you can get a hold of her and Sarah again. Okay, so and I'm assuming everybody else has been informed that Sarah was underneath, or somebody who looks like Sarah was underneath the hood. So, it's Sarah answers the phone right now. Oh, Dr. Killinger, how are you doing? Are you planning to be in here today, like we talked about, or?
Yeah. I just wanted to find out if there were any allergies in your office, anything that I need to take into consideration when getting the food, and like just about like maybe a rough head count if you knew. I was thinking like 25, or do you have a little bit more than that in your office?
That should be fine too. That's we don't. There's no allergy that we can think about, and there's 25 should be fine because there's not a lot of us in here too. It's it really is just the doctor myself. Although she is supposed to have Mr. Kano in for practice today, so
really?
He's bringing in a drum to see if the one of the taiko drums to see if it's okay, and it's like the heads can take it, so if it will be. There, so impromptu performance.
That would be wonderful. Do you think your boss would be okay if I, stood in the back while he was testing out some things?
It's a possibility too. I would say just come in as you need to, but
Sure.
we can kind of do that as needed.
Wonderful.
Do you have what's your human skill?
I have 50.
50? Go ahead and roll that.
Nope. 90 out of 50.
90 out of 50. So sounding okay though. So I will only say that what you get from that though, since you have a 50 base, is that if she was attacked last night, if that's the same person, she is super cheery or really good at keeping things compartmentalized. So
doesn't remember. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll see you maybe around 11 then.
That should be fine. So they should be here by that time. So I would only say right now, there's actually a really good bulgogi place that you might want to pull from. So that's a
so it's the one that's just right down the road from y'all?
Yes. So that is right now. So don't ask for the calamari flanks. Just don't.
Okay. Yeah. I think good to know. Thank you.
All right. But yeah, you have a time frame now that's set from it. So we would like to go with that right now. Everybody else, what would you like to do? So
I'm going to tell them the drummer's going to be there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So if the drummer's going to be there, then we'll be there with the drummer.
Yeah, we have to accelerate things a little bit.
Well, you could
performance.
You could. We're expecting whatever info we can get on the drummer's like legend coming back to us from our contacts, right? But you could do some like surveillance breaking in, to like dig into their house, like wherever he's listed as resident, for example. You could go there while he's here, right? Or you could go check out Sarah Boyd's place. Or I don't feel that the doctor necessarily has raised profile enough to be to risk running at her home, right? But Sarah Boyd and the drummer are both clearly have direct, the doctor probably does as well, but you know what I mean.
Dr. Killinger, you said this correct. He's going to give a performance with those drums?
It's gonna. I mean, performance sounds a lot bigger than it is. He's basically just going to be testing them out to see if. But I fully expect any strange effects that these are going to have are going to be in full.
Yeah.
But at least that'll be a contained space.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's not what we can observe if whatever. If you
guys are in a contained space when he performs, that's a problem because we don't know what's going to happen. You could get immolated. That's what happened in the previous.
Right.
But
you did buy earplugs, right?
Yeah, but then there's I smile at everyone and I just go, well, there'd still be you two, and it wouldn't happen at the music festival where maybe even a dozen people could go.
Shut up.
My hunch is we got to stop this before even that little performance. That's just my intuition talking right now.
Well, you've just escalated that timetable right the fuck up, Shaw, there, because that's 2 hours from now.
He wasn't coming to. Did we know he was coming to do this today, or did they come up as a surprise to them? Like, oh, he's coming in today. Well, why is he coming in today? Because his plans are blown because agents are sniffing around. That's
as far as I will say from the message they got, it was basically something that was just planned beforehand. So as far as you can tell,
so this
isn't
coming in today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I admire the paranoia.
We should not continue under the assumption that this is a benign happening today.
No. But it's still an opportunity.
I agree.
Okay. All right, but yeah, you can
guys
make that
for that. Like you was going there, and you doing. What would you do though? Which one are you going to choose out of the two viable options? Is Tully going to go break into one on his own and Shaw on another?
I am not a B&E person.
Okay. There are dogs sometimes. That's what experience will tell us. So
I think the drummer is the easier target because we have so much more pretense for using our legal powers against a visitor, right? Like, just came up on a watch list or whatever bullshit, right? Whereas a US citizen has rights, right? So
it hurts so much to hear this coming from you.
Hey, still a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in that case, who are, as far as I can tell, like we're going to the split one. So anybody going to the practice performance over at the university, and then are others trying to go to Sarah Boy's residence to see if she's there or has been?
So what was it? The Killinger and Pinto were going to go to the test or performance or whatever, and then Tully and Shaw were going to go to the performers' domicile.
What's his faces?
Listed residence, the Hideko. Kaido, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're on Hideko. So okay, so actually, I take that back. So 1 second, the information was actually able to come up overnight for Pinter since you put that through. Hideki Kano is actually staying. His current residence is with Dr. Cadler. So he seems to be staying over there at the moment at the moment for the duration of his stay.
I was so hoping it'd be a hotel where you could just vaguely flash a badge and they would just let you in and do all kinds of stuff, right?
I mean, I mean, they would definitely be able to put more, stoppage on us if it's a private residence of a U.S. citizen. But
poke around, right?
Yeah, we still have some legal pretense.
I would totally trade these jobs off, other than that we're already introduced to the two subjects of interest that we can have a meeting with,
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, to make it clear, so Killinger and Plinter will go over to the university, and Shaw and Tully, you're going to go over to Cadler's residence to see if you can dig any derp up on Kata.
Sure, I'll probably need some sort of legend. It's like just an archaeologist, like just showing up with the ATF guy.
Okay.
I could probably just, I could just say that like if we have a suspicion or if we have like a pretense, then I can probably plug into it. But if they ask me like, what am I doing there?
Oh, just
Direct,
Ben,
you just direct all questions to the
Yeah,
ATF guy, and he
direct it to
tells him
me.
to shut the hell up
Yeah.
because he's ATF.
Mhm.
If we
So-
have suspicion that this guy is delivering or like moving stuff that he shouldn't be, right? Stuff that's protected, then maybe they need your expertise to say, oh yeah, this is from the such and such dynasty or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well, since we're going to do that first right now, we'll go ahead. Actually, we'll follow Shaw and Telly over there first. So, since the other two are grabbing lunch, and it's like you go over to a residence, which is in a much more upscale. Well, it's Irvine, so there's a lot of upscale residences out there. So, the doctor's house, Cadler's, is just a nicely appointed, like 2-story Victorian style. So, as you kind of expected. There appears to be something of that's like a moving van outside you. It almost looks like a painted over U-Haul that somebody might have brought in there, but that could be just from somebody buying their own, or maybe the university having their own and just using it to move things discreetly about. So if they're doing any kind of things with the taiko drums or any of the artifacts, they might be bringing it over here. Both of you can go ahead and roll alertness.
Okay. Made it.
I did.
Okay. Shaw, it looked... Tully, you're still kind of worried about your throat, so it's still...
Yeah, I think that's technically that is a critical failure.
Let's see. Oh, no. That is a critical success, because what's your alertness at?
20, I think.
20? Is it 20? Okay.
20
So,
is
all right.
yeah.
All right, it went over. Okay, sorry. Then I thought you had a higher one. Oh, yeah, that's a critical failure. So, so yeah, we'll get back to you in a second on that. So, but Shaw, as you're going through, you do see that there is movement because they have pretty large appointed windows going into the living room, and you see some people moving around in there. You can quickly tell that this is some sort of housekeeping. That you don't see any other cars, so they may actually live on premise. So that might be a particular issue to get around with that. You do see that there is a nice pathway going into the back with some blind spots through the window. So if you want to try to go the sneaky method, you can. So, but if not, then that could be a bigger issue as well. So you can kind of figure that out. But you're looking at, I'm assuming you're driving. So Shaw.
Yeah.
When you're kind of looking out there, Tully, you're just you're trying to look around, seeing what he's seeing, and worry about how your throat is. And it's about that moment where you're surprised when you hear a knock on the window. So you look over, and it seems to be an older woman, probably in her late 60s, early 70s, out walking a very, very small dog. So there's a tracksuit.
I'll roll down the window.
There's no free parking here.
I point to my.
You need to.
What?
I don't care. I don't care if you can't. I understand. I think you're pointing. You can understand me. There's no parking here.
Doctor, this is a federal agent.
So
I'm looking up onto the street. Are the cars parked?
yeah. So no, actually, it's pretty empty for the most part. So, and you see most of them are in driveways. So.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
This is a homeowners association issue. I am the vice president. You don't park your stuff out here. I don't care if you're Dash Go or Food Get or whatever this is.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Can I pull this driveway right here? Would that be okay? Is this your place? Can I pull in, or because you'd be a great person to talk
in this neighborhood?
I flashed a badge. I think I do, ma'am. If you would be helpful to help your government figure something out, that would be great.
Persuade check.
Okay. Let's see. What is my persuade? 50. I can do this. That is a fail, but I am appealing to her sense of law and order in this neighborhood. Come on.
All right.
She is the law in this
That's like, I don't care right now. That's like I see people flashing badges all the time right now. What are the numbers on those anyway? I want those. So now
Ma'am.
she's
Look
asking
you
for
up.
credentials.
No, ma'am, that's not how this works. Where can I park the car if I can't park it here?
So away from our neighborhood, we have a lot of really nice people here. We don't need you sitting around sneaking about.
I'm not sneaking about, ma'am. I'm doing a job for the
All right.
U.S. government. Yeah.
All right. So
We're
yeah,
just
Sean
distracted by
walks
this poor
through
lady.
law. Yeah. So Telly, would you like to try to do something to see if you get a kid?
So, you say, ma'am, please, this is a matter of great cultural and national importance. We're only here for a short time, and it's a lovely neighborhood, but we need to, we will be out of your hair momentarily.
Okay. So that would be, what's your persuade skill?
40.
40. If you decide to take off one sanity, you may add your unnatural skill to that.
Okay, I will.
Your melodic voice.
Sing to her.
Yes.
So yeah, as you keep talking to her, you realize that you sound softer, but it almost feels like that tone that you managed to sing earlier becomes a little bit easier to do. Not it still kind of rough, but as you're talking, you notice that her face is becoming more relaxed. It's there, and it's like she immediately says, "Oh, well, no, it's like I understand you're trying to protect the people and everybody out here. You got to make sure that those undesirables aren't anywhere near there. What can I help my government with?" Shaw, before you do anything, you hear Tully going through, and it's weird that his voice goes down so low that at least soft, that you can't really hear anything, or you don't think he's actually talking, except every once in a while when you get your ears basically hear a high pitch and slowly fade in.
Mhm.
That's what it kind of sounds like, and then the woman is automatically agreeing with him. Go ahead. That's like this will not be a check. You see a lot of things. You just lose one sand. So something's weird.
This is disconcerting. But
Yep. But this is Mrs. Peterson. She's lived in the neighborhood for the last 20 years. Is really mad about those damn kids keeping everybody up night with their rock. It's like with their loud music.
Yeah.
Including that lady. It's like that lady pointing over to the doctor's house. She's playing all sorts of weird music at all hours of the night.
I hate that. We're gonna figure that out for you.
This is actually what we're here about.
Yeah, man, that's what we're investigating. Yeah. Oh, we're glad we ran into you.
It is there. So So I'd look around. Are you trying to get him out? I don't want to listen to them anymore right now. So just coming all high and mighty with their their vans and the really old instruments and stuff.
Yeah. When did all this start happening, ma'am? I mean,
That was probably about 2 weeks back, and when we really started seeing that. But that's also when they were bringing that girl over here too, and it seemed at least weird. Like she was coming in here signing off her stuff. I think she was an assistant or something, but she ran at one point. Just seemed to go completely away. It was also the damnedest thing, because after that's somebody that scared running away, she came back almost the next day. Didn't even see her leave the other house right now. Just came walking out. But
do we have a picture
I don't
of
watch everybody's
Sarah?
house. Yes. This case, I will say, yeah. She's in the university directory as
Okay.
one of the teaching adjunct teachers.
Can I show her, ma'am? Was this the girl you're referring to?
Oh yeah, so nice looking girl there. So yeah, that's her.
Ah, all right. Anything else unusual about this house? Looks like they must have a maid service or housekeeping.
Oh
Anything we
yeah,
need to know?
that's actually part of the homeowners association too. They got a house here at the end of the block that they just go in and do everything and get out to. They have so everything's key cards now. I don't. That's like I keep a deadbolt in my house anyway. I pay a fine for it every month, but I don't give a damn.
She is the law.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do in my own home.
Well,
So-
ma'am, we really need to get, we don't want to disrupt housekeeping right there. Would you be able to come with us and we could, knock on the door, and that way they might be more approachable to us, just so we could take a peek around the house, just to make sure everything's on the up and up.
They need to know
Yeah.
the Homeowners Association has the full backing of the U.S. government. They need to respect you.
Persuade plus 40.
I love it.
Let's see how it goes. Success.
Yep. So through your other skills right now and pandering to the tottering old racist at this point, we're gonna get what we need. So she goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna." Let's like, yeah. I'll tell them what's what. So, and she goes over to the house. So, are you stepping up with her, or are you waiting for her to talk to?
Oh,
we'll
You
go.
are going up there with her.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go up with her. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so,
I'm over
all
go like, Tully, wow, you're really good at this, man. The force could use someone like you.
Yeah, absolutely you can. So, but yeah, so this is but they knock on the door, and she has just the ugliest argument with these poor people who are just trying to get their business, their stuff done. So, and yeah, she is just ripping them into a new one until one of them finally says, like, look, fine, you don't think your house is clean enough or anything else? She just berates them about their own. We'll go with you right now. So, who are you again? So I don't care. I don't get paid enough for this right now, and they leave. And the door is magically open as she totters off with the other one. So congratulations.
Yay, we played the racism hack and we got in.
Yeah.
All right,
So
in
she will
we
be
go.
run over by a car later on. So anyway. But yeah, so you managed to go ahead and get in there. You don't know how much time you might have, though, so you can go ahead and do a search check.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at this, so hopefully this.
I fail. I find nothing.
I
Okay.
succeed. 8 out of
Alrighty.
7. 8 out of 80. I think.
Mr. I don't do B&E.
Yeah, 8 out of
Yeah, so, yeah. For somebody who said that he's not there too, you're kind of pulling the Indiana Jones card here. So, but yeah, unfortunately, for Shaw, you go through it, everything. You aren't seeing anything in particular for documents, because everything else needs to be basic mail or anything. You go through the rooms. You actually do find out where Kano is staying, at least in the room, because you see a general suitcase full of just more men's clothes, anything else. But you do. That's like, I will say the one thing that you do find there is you talked about the passports before with Pinter. And you see that, it is a newer one. So, but it looks like this has been replaced multiple times. And I will say, just from the one thing you can get from that, what's your criminology score again? Oh, I have it right here. 70? So,
Yeah.
Okay. You can see that without rewinding right now. Oh, this was forged. This absolutely was forged.
Okay.
So whatever is going on with this guy can see about anything else. So the other thing, though, Tully, as you're going through the other rooms, so you do follow Shaw back into where Kano's room is, and you don't. It doesn't really come off as, again, finding something again, but more of a feel. And as you walk in, you feel like you need to just whistle to keep your mind occupied.
Oh. Okay.
So, and oddly enough, though, you, like before with the crystal, you kind of feel a weird resonance, just a little bit of one. So
Just in the room itself? Like, is it coming from anything specific?
more of the closet. So
Okay. I'm gonna point Shaw to the closet and say, in there.
So yeah, it's just one of those that you kind of, you kind of look at it. You go into the closet itself, and it's as you open up, there's like men's clothes and everything else, but you do feel back there, and there, oddly enough, is what looks like a hidden safe. So, but not it's like a little bit of a bigger one, not a huge one, something you would almost keep documentation in, but.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, you feel like something's in there that would be important.
And Tully is like visibly like tensing up, like.
So, are you going to try to get in it? Are you showing Shaw?
Yeah, I mean, Shaw is like, Shaw's like, there's something in there.
Well, we already got a forged passport, so maybe there's some other documents we could use to legally deny this performance. So yeah, we'll try to get in.
Okay, so criminology roll to see if you can crack it. Since it is a combination lock, so.
That is a success.
Success, excellent. 53. So yeah, thankfully the doctor doesn't seem to have very good, at least I'll say it's a master lock branded safe, so they got what they deserve. So inside, you the two things that you see right now are one, it looks like a very old photograph, one that is almost about 50 years old, like you saw from the documentation, the footage that was provided to you. It does show Kano in there, but it also shows Dr. Cadler, who is looking no worse for wear than she does now.
Great.
In fact,
what?
you keep looking at both of them right now, back and forth, and remembering, that's like the images that you're seeing on like the current website for it. Yeah, you could put both of those together, and nothing has changed about their features.
Yeah, Tully will take out his cell phone or his burner or whatever, and to Ariel and Pinter, just like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Both
we got to get there now.
All right.
But what is Tully wants to know what in there is giving him this tone?
Well, it's kind of interesting that you should see that, because there's another an item that was wrapped in cloth, and as you read it, it just feels natural as you find this object, which will be in game chat. It appears to be some sort of, for lack of a better term, whistle.
Oh no!
So,
hold it reverently.
Yeah, it is.
My chest.
At least providing tone like they're flute. So it does look very old too, and kind of more rustic, but it absolutely, and it seems to be inlaid with the shark skin that you almost look on the edge around it. You look forward, it looks like it's almost inlaid sapphire, but looking for close right now, you absolutely get that feeling of more that smooth amber feeling like it did on the bachi.
Is there anything? I have a pretty good archaeology and occult, obviously. Is there anything that jumps out to me immediately about this thing?
You can go ahead and make a history or archaeology roll. So I will allow that.
That's a success.
Excellent. So, the thing that almost jumps out of you almost immediately is some. That's like it's like some references back to that's like demons, or at least spirits, or Ani, essentially related to wind. So, or that's like kind of a power of almost breath in this case, something that is very that's like very powerful. And honestly, it feels like, again, if you could put that kind of essentially that tone that you were putting through your own mouth into that would be even more powerful. You kind of really want to do it now to see what would happen.
I kind of do, but not in polite company.
So if you would like to resist that in particular, you may at the cost of a will point.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna temper my my enthusiasm.
That's so. All right then. So yeah, we'll go ahead, take that as is. Are you showing it to Shaw?
Yeah, just like check this out.
Shaw, what is your reaction?
Yeah, we grab it. We got to text Agent Pinter and Dr. Killinger. We got confirmed vectors. They're heading right to confirmed vectors. We got to get there ASAP. So just grab it and go. We got to go.
All right,
We're going.
So, all right, so you're driving off to the university then. So back to Dr. Killinger and Pinter. So this is before at least you were getting these particular messages. So you have the bagged lunch right now. How are you approaching? So because you can go up in the office and you see that Sarah's there and a cat. So
Hi, Sarah. Do you have a break room or a kitchen or someplace you want me to set this stuff up for people to come in and?
Yeah, we have the kitchen off to the side. If you want to go ahead and do that, I just want to tell you, I know you said they would be able to listen in, but Dr. Kedler and Mr. Connor are kind of being more standoffish, so I don't know if that might be the case or not. So,
Okay.
and I might have to go in and help us like there because they were being a little more insistent. So, like I said, if you want to stay here right now, I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee that you can get in.
Okay. I understand. Sometimes it's want to save stuff for the big moment.
Okay.
What? Just out of curiosity, where will they be playing? Do you think?
She tilts her head for a second. In her office, but you really need to consider again the soundproofing and everything, and yeah, the soundproofing.
Okay.
Clifford, you both can roll Humant again.
Yeah. Nope.
I made it this time.
You made it this time? Okay. So, yeah, Killinger, this is still really weird to you, just trying to figure out what they're doing. Pinter, you've seen enough time where somebody's going off of a script. Except the only thing that's odder about this particular one is that you've seen when somebody is given a script to kind of throw you off the track or say something to, or at the very least, if you're dealing with a scam phone call. So, but this is almost like this has been implanted. Like this, it's like you've seen certain things about maybe hypnotic suggestion and whatnot, but this is again something that it seems like she's going through a mental script.
He doesn't know that they're reading for.
That she's not. She is not. It doesn't seem like she's aware of it exactly. And the more that you look at her eyes, the more that they don't seem focused. They're definitely there, but she doesn't really seem to be with the particular program.
She's not with the program. Okay. Damn.
Yeah. Well, not our program at least.
Yeah.
But
that would have made things so much easier, right? But anyways, so she's out of it, and the script that she's giving is that the doctor and the drummer don't want to be disturbed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, she seems particularly out of it. What kind of security is there in between us and the doctor's office?
Not much again, because like I said, you're basically in the main office, there, which is, that's like it's a fairly spacious area too. You have the break room off to the side, a couple adjutant desks, and then Sarah's desk that is in the front, and then of course the office that you were both in at the back end. And you can hear some noises coming out of there, but this is there. Sorry. Sorry, gentlemen, I saw the cat. So Piglet is incredibly cute. So
very, very. Should Sarah's acting weird, but they don't want us to be in the office. It feels pointless trying to persuade her to go into the office. We could just walk past her and, wait for her to be distracted by the food or whatever, and then just like slip out and go to the office and deal with it there and just be like, you know what I mean? Like in staying with Sarah on this repeat script, it's just like kind of like,
Right.
yeah, Sarah, hey, have some, hey, I think, like you'll have to go and get some, why don't you go
Yeah.
get some like
Let
napkins and
everybody
things?
else,
let
and
everyone
like
else
go
know.
tell everyone in the office that the food is here if you don't mind. We'll get everything set up for you though. So by the time they're ready, then
Okay.
the food will be ready.
All right, so this is kind of trying to drive her off of the programming that you're at least seeing or the script. So I'm gonna say for that, it's gonna be another persuade check. Although I will say if it's like Ariel, if you want to go ahead and roll it first to see if you can give Pinter a boost to his.
Yeah.
So because what is your persuade?
I have 40.
40 and Pinter, what is
I have
yours?
70.
70. Okay, so I think,
You'll
yeah.
need a new boost.
So Killjoy, if you want to roll to see if you can get him to at least a plus 10, and
No, I'm not
No.
super persuasive.
then dice spots out for blood. So all right, so it's just base 70. So
Did it?
all right.
I think it's like, like Sarah, how are you? How are you doing, Sarah? Are you hungry? Oh yeah. Oh, we've got some food. We'll tell you what. You don't worry about this, Sarah. You just go tell the others, and we'll get all this sorted out. Okay, no problem. We can just have food, and then we can deal with all this later. Yeah. Like leading her out by the hand, like away from
Thanks
killing
very
her.
much. Goodbye.
Yeah. But yeah, she's starting to walk towards it, although it seems like she's trying to convince herself, like she's questioning it. So
I'm almost imagining her stammering out that script like a couple of times while I just talk over her and pull her away, right? Like, and then she just gets more and more like, yeah, sure.
Yep. So all right, yeah, it is there too. So you're putting at least the food away, or at least you have it. So that's both of you basically can start kind of moving it towards there. Go ahead and make. I'm going to say this is not really a roll. The only thing that you're noticing is you're getting towards the door. You can hear a bit of the drumming as you get more forward to that.
Does it sound
I reach into my my satchel, my little university style like laptop bag type thing.
Your shoulder bag. So
yes, and I pull out 2 head earphone.
okay?
Okay. Before you do that, so yeah, you do. Yeah, and I will say, Erla, you are noticing through your because of your training too. It's it's starting as percussion, but listening a little bit more towards it seems to be really pulling that it's like that almost diegetic. It's like diatonic tone. Excuse me, diegetic's completely different. So, but that is starting to almost hurt because of that. So the minute you put your head set on and it's not perfect, but it's muffling it enough.
Okay.
What you both? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, does it sound like the steel drummy stuff that we heard before, or does it sound more like the typical drumming?
It's sounding again like the typical drumming, but it's bringing in so many other harmonies into it that it doesn't sound like it's just like one long strike on there like the et was. So it's sounding much more it's sounding much more ominous, if that makes sense. So, and very uncomfortable. So, but yeah, the headphones are helping, but again, they're only doing so much. The other thing you notice is that it is really getting cold. I mean, bone-chillingly cold, and and this is a university. It's summertime. They're gonna keep the air conditioning low, but this is uncomfortably so until it started moving towards the door. You see your breath starting to come up just a little bit.
Before we put the headphones on, I look at Killinger and I say, like, shit, Shaw was right.
She's like holding all of the takeout close to her chest to try and warm up.
Yeah.
Maybe this black as a shield.
I'm gonna take my pistol out and just put it in my jacket pocket, like, so that I can just have it like ready if I need it, basically, right there. It's basically unholstered, but in a way that I don't have to draw to show it off.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're reaching about that door. It was about the time when you get the message. So from the other two.
Shit.
They're both.
So you can decide your way to do. The only thing I will say that since you're cold and you're noticing, actually this will be one more alertness check. So, or I will allow Humint as well too, depending on what you would like to use it. So those two will apply.
Humint is way better for me.
Okay.
Pass on Humint.
Okay, excellent.
Passed on both.
All right. So, Pinter, for your alertness, as you're going through, because you're reading that going, oh, what's happening? You realize that Sarah, as we said right now, is kind of pulling away from you. This.
Oh, I thought we'd send Sarah off to go get the other people, like the.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought she was going with you. I'm so sorry. So I was.
No. I mean, if that was the only way to get her across, that's fine.
Yeah, she was coming with you to basically kind of do that, but she's pulling away, really going towards the door itself. But the thing that you notice right now is that she does not seem to be shivering at all, and she is in very light clothes, so just blouse, skirt, that's like low socks and everything. You're freezing. She should be absolutely dying at this point. So, and she is not affected on there. On the human side too, you are now starting to see that trance-like one, but this is more like she is in full rhythm with whatever the sounds the drums are going off of. That she is in focus on that, and it almost again reminds you a little bit of what you were seeing prior to, or hearing or feeling prior to that music going forward. As all those tones.
How big is Sarah? Like, is she like average woman sized?
Yeah. So she's she's about say 5'4". So
okay, then Dr. Killinger drops all the food and then claps her hands on both sides of Sarah's head to try and cover her ears and see if that changes her behavior at all. Because 2 people is one thing, but 3 people is another.
So you clap her ears. She screams.
Fuck.
And that scream knocks both you and Pinter back from the pure concussive force. So first off, go ahead and roll. Let's see. This is just going to be Dex to make sure that you can land without hurting yourself.
Yes.
Nope.
All right. So
I think Killinger does it though, right? 6.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I fail. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
did you? So Killinger both been made it. So all right. So Killinger, no hit points lost right now. Pinter, you just lose 1 because it knocked you against the floor as you were going back.
Yeah.
But it's also about this point where the door flies open. So of that scream, and you see both Dr. Kedler and Kano sitting there, but you don't really notice them as faces right now. Their bodies seem to just be completely another. It almost again like a similar black carapace, but you can clearly see their faces. Though it's like it seems to almost be just like a smaller second skin that's more human as they are directing it, and you see Kedler or what she is almost beckoning towards Sarah. So you see that. We'll get back to your you can go ahead and make your sand checks, and we'll get back to you here in a second. So, all right, Shaw, Tully, you are getting ready to peel out towards the university. But it's about that time when you're about to pull up. Shaw, you pull forward and you hear the car jut, and you couldn't figure out why. Because I'm assuming you're in the black SUV or whatever you rented for.
Yeah, just a standard.
You look up, and that thing you shot at is now right in front of you, hoodie and all, looking directly at you.
That's a problem. Can the car move at all, or is it just?
You started pulling from there. It actually moved a bit, but she's holding it almost in place when you were accelerating because it's there. And it's about that time, just the voice comes out incredibly rough, just offhand. And she's not attacking. But as you could look, you could actually see that more of that carapace and those veins, which you can almost look at. It oddly looks like, for lack of a better term, physical manifestations, almost musical staffs. Like if somebody carved them into that, are going around the body.
What did she say again, Aaron? I couldn't quite
Help
hear
me.
what she...
Help me.
Help me. All right.
Can I project with my super voice some sort of go away or be gone? Can I express that with my newfound glory?
You can go ahead. If you want to, that persuade, you can do that with the unnaturalist again.
Okay. If you got it, flaunt it, right?
Mhm.
Dang it! No, that's a failure.
All right, so you're gonna go ahead and lose one more sanity off that, just because of it, that one. But the thing is that even though you failed that, she doesn't go away, but she looks directly at you, and she picks something up because it seems like she's trying to. You see that there's something else in her hand, that looks a little bit familiar to what you just picked up. It's not a whistle. Seems more be of a tuning fork.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So going back, she just looks up and she looks to you and realizes, you start hearing that high-pitched whistle and her voice sounds off. Shaw looks completely confused because like halfway about grabbing the gun. So,
Yeah.
But you hear it. She says, "I've found this. The professor told not to touch it, but it did. I didn't know why. But I can hear more things now, and I could hear that the professor was wrong. She's not right. She's something else. She's trying to bring something else in, and she made another me."
Let us help you. Can I?
I need the sticks. I need them because that's the only way I can hurt the other me.
Let us help you.
Can you take me there?
At this point, just get in the car. Get out of here.
Okay. All right. So I can do that. She looks right now, and as she's getting through, are you helping her in? So she is pretty injured too, but she's looking more roughly aware. She looks over you and sees that your whistle. Did you use it?
No, not yet.
If you can hear things, that's the only thing that silences it. That makes it okay.
Oh, that's very good to know.
So that's, and you do kind of pull on that. So, but yeah, you have either one. So, and blitzing off. So towards the university. Okay. So switch it back over to it. Yeah. Both the Dr. Kedler and Kaido are not saying anything to you at all.
Great. I failed.
They
my
just
stand,
keep.
So.
Yeah. So you failed your sand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
and I failed my son as well.
You failed it. Oh man.
Well,
So all right.
I do remember taking quite a big chunk of sand loss to seeing one of these things, anyways, right? Like
you did. So that might. So I'm gonna say that's gonna make it a little bit easier for. You're not quite on the natural yet, so because you can't. You get used to you get immune. Oh, sorry. You get numb to a natural. It's bad. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can even. Can you? I was just wondering if you got to the same unnatural thing every time you saw it.
No. No. Yeah. It basically, if you ever do that, that means you're too far gone for anything. So. All right. Oh, that's not right. That's. I put that in the game chat. All right. So first hitter. That is 8. So that is a temporary. Fight, flight, or freeze.
I've also hit my breaking point.
Okay, so we'll deal with that here in a second. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
Killinger? 2.
Okay.
But I'll go with fight, frankly.
Okay. So yeah. So at this point, they are not fully attacking, but Sarah is in the way. So what are you doing?
Killing her or me? Because I'm just shooting.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with you were going into flight right there. So yeah, well, I'm sorry, I didn't go into that. So let's go first right now. So yeah, Killinger, what are you deciding to do? So
So she screamed and we got backwards and then the door flew open.
Mhm.
She's probably gonna try and like get a desk or a filing cabinet or something between them and her. So if there's any like filing cabinets next to the door or something that she can pull
get
over.
behind. So
Uh-huh.
okay, all right. So yeah, that's I will say yeah, try to protect yourself. That's absolutely fine. So we won't worry about that. That is going to be I will say that's if you want to do that, that's just a pure strength check to get that pulled over since it's pretty hard.
Okay.
So we'll do this. And Shaw and Tudley, right now, since combat or the issue won't begin fully right now, I will say you're not too far away, so it'll be 3 turns before you get there. So,
Okay.
And actually, just to make sure before that, so let's go ahead and do that. So, Killinger, what'd you make?
So success, 14 out of 60.
14 out of 60. Okay, yeah. So you're barricaded at the moment. So for anything, but yeah, it's looking weird at this point. Pitter, so what are you doing? You said you're going into full fight.
Fight, yeah, which is as they come. I think I just I think killing is probably behind me at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I just like one arm back and then pull the gun out, right? Like full on slow motion.
Slow-mo.
Yeah. All right. Who are you targeting? So because Sarah's in front of you, and then Cadler and Kano are off to the side.
They're the closest one. Not Sarah, because Sarah is just walking towards them, right? But these are 2 inhuman monsters.
Okay. You're gonna fire at them. So all right, like I said, she's directly in the way, so it is going to be a difficult shot since you're going out, and you're
they're also what causes sand loss, right?
Like, yeah, so they are. So it's going to be a negative 20 on your firearms because of just kind of going try to do a hard shot when it's in wild. So
yeah, I mean, if I hit Sarah, it's not like I care that much. Sorry, it's not that Pinter cares that much. Let's say. Yeah. But that is bang on minus 20. So that's 50 out of 50.
50 out of 50. All right, excellent. So yeah, you managed to go ahead and fire off a round, which does hit. Actually, yeah, that absolutely does go ahead and hit dead center mass on Kano, I'll say. But so as it goes through, you do see that weirdly enough, he speeds up his drumming, and that's like the cold that seems to be coming from that. It literally seems like sound waves that are actually coalescing into a physical entity, a physical force that you can actually see as it freezes the bullet, freezes the air around it, and it falls. And he seems to go back to his concentration. Yeah, it's just going through again. So that being said, so yeah, you're kind of it's there, and I'll leave you guys to think about that for a second. Shaw. So right now, because you're obeying traffic laws and everything, you're trying to you will get 3 turns. I can say that will go for 1 turn if you give me a successful drive check that breaks all of the laws. So
oh yeah, we can do that. I think I have drive too. I have it at 50. Let's see what happens. Hey, made it a 3.
Yep. So you managed to go ahead and just swerve around everywhere. You are getting beeps right now. It's probably good that you don't have anything. And I'm assuming you're in a rental car and not in an official FBI car or anything.
Always rental. So, always. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at least keeping up the good part. So all right. So yeah, you're going to be here in the next turn. So you're just going to scream in and
through the window in the
and go through. It is on the first floor, which you're good, but. It's going to be that. So we're in the second one of this. Kano is still doing what it is. It is getting colder, like to the point where you feel like, well, none of you probably have experienced frostbite, but you're wondering if this is the beginning of it. Sarah doesn't seem to be, she's in her trance, but as she's getting forward too, it seems almost those waves are creating something else out of her. That it's like when you look at her, it's like you've dropped a rock in a pond. that is in the air, and it seems to distort her features
Mhm.
where you don't really think it's looking as it looks. Imagine what a human looks like if it was starting to grow the appendages of a manta. So it's not getting any better. So
how many feet away is the drum set itself from where we are?
okay, so you are probably in the center of where you about the center of the office of the main foyer when you put up the filing cabinet.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say that's a good 30 to 40 feet, so not too terribly
Okay.
too far, because it's basically right through the entrance of
Right.
there.
But Agent Pinter couldn't like throw me at it and I land on it.
Oh,
That
you're
would
trying
be
to-
way too far.
Okay, he's still pretty bad and just kind of. Are you still firing into it, or?
Well, I mean, I chose fight, right? So,
Yeah.
and the bullets don't do anything to that. I don't think I can do the fastball special, sadly.
Okay.
Do
Yeah,
the-
probably
Again,
not.
if you want to, and if necessary, like we can kind of give you ideas to maybe help out with this.
Well, at the moment, I'm just shooting things, right? Because I'm on fight.
yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
mean, Sarah seems to be turning into an inhuman monster as well.
Yep.
Well, like the sound is doing it to her, so
Mhm.
you have to block
That's-
the sound or stop the sound.
And
Okay.
but the sound of a gun going off in a confined space isn't enough to drown this out or stop it, right? So
well, in this case, Killinger, go ahead and make a music history or music check again. I will go ahead and give you a +10 on that.
Thank you. No, that would be 92 out of 60.
92 out of 60. You know that there's something that you possibly could do, like noise-wise. You just don't know what it is yet. So if you want to hold off on there and kind of think while this is happening,
Yep.
but
Think for a turn.
yeah.
Hide.
I switch targets to Dr. Kelder.
Dr. Kelder. Okay. Yep. Go ahead and make your roll.
And then, Sarah's next, right? If this doesn't work. I miss anyways.
All right. So, you do. Yeah, it does miss, but it did get her attention though. So, and let's say because, excuse me, Hideki Kano just seems to be completely in his mode. So, but she turns around, just kind of cocks her head at you and starts walking forward. Like, why do you disrupt the performance? We bring you the music. And it's very hypnotic as she speaks, and it is very hard.
And the really freaky thing is that I can hear it very clearly through my ear protectors and the sound of a gun going off right next to my face.
It does. That is one of those things that you don't think it should, but it is. But she is making the advance on you, not attacking yet, though. But that being said, you do have another round to do this. It's about this time. Shaw, Tully, and another Sarah comes screaming. And so, what is how does your entrance look?
I think I'm just charging in, gun ready, just to. Do we hear everything going on right now? Like here, obviously we probably park, hear gunfire. Like, it's hitting the fan.
It absolutely is, and yes. So you go into seeing basically the scene of another Sarah that seems to be turning into some manta ray creature, which is completely offhanded. Kano and the other two that are in their kind of black armored forms that are just moving forward. Killinger behind a barricade of book filing cabinets, and Pinter just firing and looking very confused. So
Tully's brandishing his new whistle.
Yeah.
So you put up the whistle.
Yep.
Tully, blow that weenie whistle, do it.
She's actually she Doctor stops in her tracks a bit and holds up for a second. And looks at you directly, Tully. Do you really wish this? Do you think you can control the tone that produces? Or will it carry you away?
Only one way to find out.
So you're blowing into it?
Yep.
All
Get
right.
my whistle tone in there. Yep.
It's deafening. And so everybody else, actually except Killinger, because you're through. So Pinter and Shaw, go ahead and make a strength check not to be blown back into the walls. Okay.
Made it.
30. All right. So both of you there, everybody here, I'm just going to say it right now. You will go ahead and take one sand point just because of the moment in this, except for Tully. So we'll get back to you here in a second. You managed to, it's just like a hurricane gale force that has been released within this room. It is deafening. It is frightening. It is actually, if nothing else, it's heated up the room ever so slightly. But it has made, it is basically just like a whole wind. A tornado just came through here. Tully, you feel a little taller. And everything else right now, you do see everything else around you, but as you look up, you look at your skin, and it absolutely is a shade of blue and black going all the way down. So where you can, it doesn't really seem much like yourself anymore. So, and everybody else, Tully is definitely different.
So he's target 2 then.
Yeah.
After thingy, and then it's
After
Tully.
this
Yes.
Yeah.
is the next one.
And Killinger, I will say that you go ahead. You don't have to since you have your awareness right now, but you're looking and you look at the belt and you immediately see a symbol that looks very familiar, like the one that you saw. You hit the that's like the bachi on earlier, except a little more ornate in there. Tully, you feel that you can speak and literally project your voice in a way that will knock people over.
Can I say "fuck you" to the?
Go ahead and do that. So, and in this case, so as you do that, please go ahead and burn. Let's see. Well, this is going to be more of a force of willpower in this situation. So I need you to go ahead and just roll a power check on this.
Okay. That's a no.
All right. How much did you fail it by?
21.
21. Okay. So, you say that. It actually pushes her back slightly. You see her skid back forward. She looks concerned, but then says, "You have no end of control over this. You can't stop us."
Can I blow on the thing with my really from the bottom of the diaphragm?
There you go.
You can go ahead and give that
Blow
one.
my fucking soul out of this thing. Let's do it.
Okay, then by doing that too, you may do that. That's going to be a cost of 5 sanity points to do that.
That
That's
might
great.
actually break me, but no time. Actually, yes, it does.
All right. So, well, don't worry about that in a second. So, but yeah, so everybody in the room takes 2 hit points of damage as blood starts pouring out of your ears. So it is just painful beyond reason. It is probably good that you have not ruptured near that. But
Sorry, guys.
but you do see that 2 things have happened now. That one, the drumming has stopped. Kano cannot keep that up because of the dissonance that you've put in. And also, it seems to have slowed Cadler down as well. So if you're wanting to get that away or rush that, this is your opportunity.
Yep. Charging.
So, all right. So we'll go with that. So, go with the other original one. Rune. So, first Killinger, what are you doing? Are you keeping back or are you doing something else?
If there's blood coming out of my ears. I don't know if there's any way she can like help Tully or support, since he's kind of like making it so that the rest of them can do their job. So she'll probably try and like crawl out and go over towards them. There's no sound system on any desks around here. I mean, probably everything's been smashed. With
luck, high or low?
We'll say low.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll. All right, that actually really count within the low. So you actually do, luckily enough, see a very expensive Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, nice. I'll see if I can hook everything up, plug it in, and like hold it up. So I don't know, with the mic, so that Tully can have more.
All right,
more
so
amps.
yeah, I would actually say yeah. Go ahead. So with that,
Careless whisper it. Just
you know what? I'll let you go. I'll let you use your music skill on that specifically
Okay.
at a +10, since you're
Okay.
that you can find a simple mic or anything to kind of plug with that. Basically, your phone. You can link it there and
Yeah, that's still a failure. That'd be 76 out of 60.
76. Okay, it doesn't work now, so but you
Okay.
can give it another try. So
I'm finagling with wires. Okay.
no worries. All right. That being said, next on Lix, Splinter. So
I mean, I think I'm just gonna keep shooting, frankly, because it's fight or freeze, and I chose fight, so it's
okay. So
yeah.
And usually it's about 3 rounds, but I usually go with that. We go right there. But yeah, go ahead and make your fire. So
Yeah. So is it still -20 because of Sarah?
right now, because as of right now, the drumming has stopped. So you're still hurt, but you can make the fire with that. You can actually take it out without it being, because she's stumbled for right now, and the sound has gone out. So you can make your shot at the normal range.
Cool. I would like to do a cold shot.
Okay, what's the call shot?
Her eye.
Sarah's eye?
No, not Sarah's eye.
or Cadler?
One of the drummer's stopped, right?
Yeah, Kano has stopped for the moment.
Yeah,
So
the drummer's eye.
okay.
Or Dr. Kelder, if it would be because Dr. Kelder's in between me and the drummer, isn't she? Because she was walking towards me.
They're basically on the other sides of that, where Sarah was kind of dead in the center.
Yeah, so I'll shoot the drummer if I got a clear shot on the drummer. I'll do a cold shot on the drummer's eye, basically.
Okay, go ahead and make that. So that if you're doing the call shot, that's still at a -20 because you're
yeah. I just didn't want to go to a -40 if it was.
Okay, yeah, so that's good. So all right, go ahead and make the shot.
I hit.
So all right, so go ahead. Yeah, it's you managed to steady yourself right now. You prop your arm up in the most heroic way, and it's by you managed to hit him. He definitely goes down. So it completely, pulls him back with the force of everything, and both of the bachi sticks go sliding. So that's like sliding, and they actually do slide past Sarah. So Cadlin looks over, but you are looking horrified as Kato seems to get back up. He is struggling. You've taken out an eye.
I think I come out of the fight and flight or freeze as I shoot him in the face. And he goes down, and I'm
looking
like,
at
yes,
that,
he can be killed. And then as soon as he gets back up again, fuck.
True, that's at least the problem with that as well. But Shaw, so let's go to you. So
Yeah, I was just booking it, trying to grab those drums.
so to both the bachi. So
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. I will say that that's easy with that. So you can go ahead and make a dex check to the dex or athletics, whichever is higher, to grab it. So
Okay. Dex would be higher. That's a success.
all right. So that being said, you grab onto them, and you are filled with the overwhelming urge to basically start pounding the ground as hard as you can with them. So, but you feel something else as well, that you have as you look around, you almost feel a tug, and you can see your Sarah, the half transformed one, who seems to be reaching out for it, just with a desperate look in her eye.
She didn't kill me when she had the chance. I give him to her.
All right. So that she throws it to them, and that's when the cold that everybody has been feeling is replaced with what feels like an overwhelming inferno, like somebody just put a blast furnace on at full force towards you. So everybody who's seeing what looks like purplish flames, and about this time, Tully, it almost to you, it absolutely feels like you just had another half of yourself restored. That something else is there. And Sarah, is now standing, but she absolutely looks very different now, holding both of the Anibaku in her hands.
Oh, man.
Oh, great. All right.
So,
It's time to jam.
Yep, and as you do this, so, as weird as it sounds right now, it's like you look back and the whistle is no longer there in your hand, or at least it's there. It looks like you have some sort of form of a horn, some sort of brass instrument, and in its valves, those same Ani heads, those amber heads, seem to be embedded into it.
Sexy saxman saxograms. Come on.
Yep, and you pull that out, and just it seems like you had the impulse to play at this point. And Sarah, at this point, takes that other drum head that you saw, that belt, goes forward, slams it onto what used to be her, or I guess the other manta one, and starts just wailing on it. And those tones are coming from it that's mixed together, both of those mixed together, sounding, again, like no other music you have ever heard in your life. It just sounds haunting and energetic at the same time. So for the last three of you, go ahead and make your you lose 2. So it's because you've been hearing this out there. But this is when all of that finally comes to a crescendo, and the other Sarah, the manta one, burns away as the other 2 seem to go. It's like burn out. And then it is still.
That's breaking point for Dr. Killinger.
Okay.
And Shaw.
And Tully broke.
We all broke this time.
But it's breaking.
Tully, you look at Sarah, and they still look to you, and you just have almost an implicit understanding that you're not really human anymore. And those 2 people that were in there, they're not the only ones of those. There's a reason why they were out. They're one of many who keep trying to bring these things into existence. You got to go stop them.
All right, I'm gonna use my magic flute voice to call out to Sarah and let her know we need to get the fuck out of here.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, because they are going to try. My former team are going to try it and
Stop us.
Yeah, so we need to jet.
Yep.
Shaking gun. Turn over to the 2 inhuman creatures in the middle of the room, right?
Yep. Yep, just out. So, all right. So, are any of you trying to stop Tully and Sarah as they leave?
I mean,
You better not.
Dr. Killinger is probably has tears running down her face. This is the moment of such transcendence that she would never imagine.
Oh, good. All right. Yeah. So they just book it out of there. So, yeah, the police absolutely
just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So the last one I will actually give Shaw this. So since you have the drive, you can choose you can make a choice to try to get out of there as quickly as possible before any of the other authorities show up, because campus security has obviously been called. But for the police, are you going to try to get out of here before anybody comes, or try to explain your way out of this?
Oh no, Shaw's booking. There's no way
Okay,
he can
okay.
explain any of this. And he saw his compatriot run off and change form. He's got to follow that. Wherever
Yeah.
it takes him, he's going to follow.
Cool. All right, then. Yeah. So, that's like you take everybody else. Go ahead and make one more drive check. So, see if you can get out of there without anybody seeing you.
Let's see. Nope.
How bad was that? So,
Does that mean that they failed to escape or that they failed to chase?
basically, that you have gotten out there without being. The police have seen you two. They realize something's out. They absolutely stop you. And that means that you're going to be questioned outside of this. Like, why is ATF, FBI, and this esteemed music professor dealing with this situation. So thankfully the program is able to cover for you a little bit, but unfortunately,
Well, I mean, it was kind of,
yeah,
like fake passport forged.
Mhm.
We were there.
got 'em
We
all.
were just there and
Yeah.
killing. We go with the story that we told,
You
And
and
there
we
was
don't know what happened, but it was just
some
like,
kind of explosion. I don't.
yeah.
it's just they're out.
Have
as
you
is.
seen our colleague, Consultant Tully? Like, he's
We
nowhere to be
don't
seen.
know where he went.
Yeah.
Just there. So are you telling the program you don't know what happened to him, or are you telling the truth?
Oh, what are we telling the program?
We don't know what happened to Tully.
Yeah. Dr.
Okay.
Killinger is probably going to try and protect
We don't know yet.
her
But-
new gods if she can.
All right. So
Yeah,
they-
I don't tell Tully. I don't tell
all
him
right.
Tully.
All right.
Yeah.
So
if
you're
the
not
program
telling
found out
okay.
about that, we would be dead. So we don't tell him about Tully.
Nope, you're out. So, all right. So, yep, that means that you're keeping this secret for there, although you have been absolutely compromised by an alien origin. So, and considering the fact that you've dealt with this situation and also encountered the Rider, which is also a situation where most agents have not survived in the past, depending on that situation. You were put on hiatus for a bit, but if there are any other issues, because you do get reports in the next year or so of two seemingly armored individuals, that's like wrecking havoc
Cosplayers.
across the states. So yeah, you're set to track and follow them under Working Group M Melody. So,
Okay.
but that being said, Tully, you and your new partner, before you escape Irvine, are visited by a friend that you've seen before, specifically the Rider, who tried to initially tried to block your exit, but once you had stated that you were not, it's like he was not your quarry, promptly told you to leave and to never return. That if you did, it would not be as merciful the next time. Flipping up the visor to show two very, very large compound eyes again before riding back off. So, but you now have a new purpose in life. You realize that you are Ani, hunting the Makumu yokai that's like to try to take spiritual nature and basically burn it down, whatever that means. So, if this is natural or not, but you are hearing the music of the world that no one else can hear. So, but that made it about there. So, for Harmonic Convergence, comments, questions, suggestions?
That was a blast.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was so much fun.
That was really good. That was
Cool. And I will put this in the link for everybody else out, but I absolutely stole a lot of stuff from the Common Writers series Hibiki, which is actually music based. So, and it is in, if you ever want to watch it, right now I believe that they're starting, well, I know they're fan subs. We don't download files here, but
Did you do another Kamen Rider Delta Green on RPPR, or was that a Monster of the Week?
No, that was Common Rider. So see the writer that I did for you, that was actually the very first one I did. That I based off of what was called Shin Common Rider. Then there's gonna be a new one now, but that was the more monstrous form. So I just kind of decided to make a series out of these if I could find something interesting to work for. Which the whole thing about this is basically these demons who are creating the weird creatures to kind of destroy everybody, and that these humans who can create their own demon powers and go through music. I did the original main character through percussion and everything. Your version, Tully, so Chuddle, he actually has a trumpet weapon, but I was trying not to completely use that because I don't want to. I'm a trumpet player myself, and I love that thing to death, but I don't want to be that completely dork. And the other one's like electric guitars, and I can't just justify that. So, but yeah, so I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. Any kind of questions or comments on the game?
No, I thought that was like it was. I think it seemed like we always had at least two things to cover it. Like we did, we had. There was never any point of like where it felt like we were, aimless or didn't have something to do.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I was trying to keep up like certain areas where you always had something to find too, at least the professor. Like I said, the only other thing that probably like I would say really missed is that if you had managed to get more social on with the professor, so that you could have had interactions with Ano himself and or Kano, excuse me. So Kano, and basically realized that this is somebody this is one of these creatures who's lived a long time and can fake being a person pretty well, but pushed into more conversation, it becomes more awkward. So,
but that would have just been like they're inhuman monsters that walk among us, and we have no idea. I have no idea of the backstory of like the common rider and things. I try and just kill him in an alleyway later. You know what I mean? Like it turned into like a program hit, right? Like
yeah, it could be a little bit of things. And once we stop recording, I'll explain a little bit more about that.
No, I mean. I get just Agent Pinter obviously just like, oh my god, they're human. They look like people.
Yeah. That's and I love the idea where you can bring that into horror, and that's kind of where like Shin Kamen Rider actually did that for a while. There's another one actually called Amazons, but I can get back to that later. So.
One of us turned into a walking god, right? Pretty much at the end.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you turned into something that is no longer human. It's not necessarily malevolent, but it's not great. Like we always make the comparison with Nodens in the original, like Call of Cthulhu stuff. Like if you go under his side, you're hunting for him for the rest of existence. It's not the worst thing, but it's still unnatural. So it's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I just thought that the thread of Tully, his escalation of his ability and his power was extremely well done. And how you
I'm glad. So, yeah. I'm absolutely glad to, yeah, because I wanting to basically do certain things that like I will admit, like the sanity mechanic. I'm glad that you lost more, but that's something I know I'm weak on when I play this because or I run it for people. But yeah, just getting into that, and I admit for my Delta Green, it might be going against the grain, but I do put a little more hope into mine than I probably should sometimes. But no, glad everybody has fun. For anybody who's watching this, either live or recorded, if you would like to play the game with like these fine people here, you can do so by joining the RPPR Discord. That is done through our Patreon, and it is at the highest level for $10 so a month. So if you want to do that, you can get to play these games with myself and Ross and other people, as well as getting access to the Discord channel where you can talk to these lovely people as well, and also get access to our APs and after-hour content. So, but everybody, thank you so much again. It was wonderful playing for you. So,
thank you.
And we will all see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.